Oh, shit. I'm gonna delete that. Damn it.
Oh, actually, before that, I've noticed something. I've somehow disappeared from the notice board's Twitch subscribers list.
Oops. Oh, well.
Alright, thank you. And now that that happened, I'm gonna click this button as well.
Alright, winner. No, not channel, channel. No, 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 go on. Not channel, channel. Oh, echo.
Infinite.
I'm gonna make sure this shit is active. I think it is, because we didn't do, yeah, everything's active. Cool. Awesome.
Except the level up, but that was intentional.
Yeah, that was intentionally off, because, yeah, we're not doing another level for bet. Right. So, let's do... Boom.
Which episode are we on?
11. What's this? Shield mode shortcut. This is fine. Beautiful. Right, I have that set there. That's there. I've got a slightly different setup now because my Gammon tablet has decided to sort of connect, disconnect, connect, disconnect. Obviously, I'm hoping it's just a cable. I've just ordered another cable. So, that maybe fix the problem. Right, that can just go full screen there. It's fine. So, we've not got an Aussie, because he's currently doing Navy things. Lotus is sick. She's probably very well in chat. Hello, Lotus, if you're in chat. Cool. Oh, by the way,
Is there like an automated plugin where I can like make macros that if we go live and I push the button, post this and this and this to this and this and this platform?
I did start using one of those. It's there's actually two. There's two, and I can't remember what they are now. One is Zap or Zapier or Zapper. I think it's Zapier. But anyway, this one and there's another one then, which is this then that kind of thing. Yeah, so there's two competing ones. Like the Zapier is a little better, but you got to pay for it. This then that is not quite as complex. So yeah, it is. Yeah, I did do it. I did have that set up.
That's nice. Yeah, but I don't assume they can like go into my Discord and post to different servers and like chat rooms and stuff.
You'd be surprised what it can do. Oh,
Really?
Matt, by the way, since we're not going to have an Aussie for a bit, do you fancy knocking up a character for this?
Just a second, be right back.
Hello.
Well, okay, that answers the fucking question then. Okay.
The game. Probably don't have it.
Improv life.
And give me a sheet, and I'll roll up some nonsense. Just give me a level and any other rules I need to know.
Yeah, it's roll with d20s.
Well then.
Yeah, so you do what is it, two? Is it 2d? Is it two lots of 2d20 drop one? And
It
then
was 1d20s, and then there was 2 instances where you have it with advantage.
that's what I was saying. Yeah, so there's 2 incidences of 2d20 drop one, and then four instances of a single d20. And then, depending on how badly it is, I may give you a couple of d4s to roll. If it's really good, I'll give you a couple of d4s you got to deduct. Right, what am I doing? Should we give it all you? What
Is
kind
my
of
old
fight?
camera link not functioning, by the way?
Oh, you already got it. What?
Oh, I didn't click the fucking start button on the camera picture. That's why it's not functioning.
Yeah, there we go. We got and I did get we did get shard cam in the improv 4 chat. So let's get a shard cam. No. Already shard avatar, what am I doing? Properties. Okay, so we should have a shard cam inbound. Yes, there's a flash. I saw the flash. And there's a shard. We're not gonna have a Kozak. So I'll just change that. Yeah, I'll stick Matt there. So yeah, let's see these. I want to see these rolls.
Need a link to the game first.
Oh right, yes, of course. I don't people anywhere. Copy link address. Oh, there you go. Publish that, and then that.
Yeah, look.
Yeah, I might have a guest character from. Yeah, I'll make. We'll keep you in as permanent because obviously we've lost Friar anyway. So even if we've got a full turnout mat, it's still only going to be 5 players. So it's not going to be, overflow.
So, 2 at advantage, and then just 4 regular.
Hey, so we got. Wow, the advantages worked out shit. So we have a 20.
Yep.
Nice. 20, 16.
13. 8. No, 9, 8, 6. Yeah, I'll take that.
Yeah, that's pretty decent. No D4s necessary there. By the way, you can take it over 20 with racial. I think. Did I decide we could do that? Has anyone done that? I don't think it's really necessary with Tasha's, is it? You can still have like a 20, an 18, and a 14.
Oh yeah, we could take them over.
Yeah, I don't know if
Okay.
anyone did that. You could do if you want to take it over, take it over. Yeah, I'm pretty certain Aussie did.
I think so, yeah.
I mean, if anyone did, it was Aussie with strength, wasn't it? Where the hell is called? Oh, there.
I need a blank sheet.
No, he did not. Opa. Please, please. There you go.
Party level is 10, right?
Yes. We got a cam from him, and then we're ready to rock and roll. So there you go. Your Iliok Cloud, whatever the fuck you'd pronounce that.
It's a great day. Let's keep it.
I want to know. I want to know how they generate those names, man. They're glorious, aren't they?
Yeah, it's Ivy Hawk Gasokla. Spectacular.
Is it based on any particular language? I know it's not Middle Eastern. Because Middle Eastern, dude, right? It was so there was this Middle Eastern CEO that I got quite pally with. In my old job as a telecoms consultant for BT Business, and I said I struggle with Middle Eastern. You know, I said I put my hands up. I said I struggle with Middle Eastern names. He said, "Dude, are you kidding me?" He said, "You just say it as it looks." I said, "Really?" He said, "Yeah." How do you think you pronounce that? My surname there, and he said, "Just say it phonetically," and I just said it phonetically. He said, "Yeah, more or less that." And ever since then, when it comes to Middle Eastern names, when I say them, I'm like, Khajiit. It's like, it's really, Kajim. It's like, you say it exactly as it's spelt. And he pointed out that's when he just started ripping me then. He says, even your Western names, like, how many ways do you spell Sean? How many of them actually look like how it's pronounced? Like, yeah, you got a point there.
Most languages are way more phonetic than English. Yeah, I'm discovering that with my job as well, being at service desk, and literally meeting people, talking to people from India, Malaysia, Johannesburg, everywhere. And yeah, I'm always like, I'm sorry if I'm gonna mispronounce your name, and then they are like, oh, you've pronounced it perfectly, because like in Hungarian we are literally, I think, one of the most phonetic languages.
Right, anyway, I've boiled a kettle and I've not made a coffee, so I'm going to make a massive coffee. See me, I'm going to grab a coffee a little bit later. Yeah, Matt is going to be knocking up a character. We need to catch up as well as to what the hell happened last session, because we missed last session because I was fucked. This is too early for me. Oh, incidentally, those watching now, the time of improv is going to change. It's going to be moving more to a sort of a prime time, not proper Twitch prime time, but it's going to be later than now, just closer to prime. What this time slot is going to be replaced with is the brand new Cyberpunk Red West March that I've built, which I'll talk more about that at the end of the stream before we kick off that. I'm looking around about 1:30. We start with that GMT. So, yeah. Or maybe 1 o'clock. I don't know. It'll be at some point after this, once I've poshed about, stretched my legs, and ate something. Then we'll jump on. We'll do the the session 0.5 of Cyberpunk Red. And it's gonna be awesome. So, alright, making coffee.
Oh, I have it. Alright. Well, F is off for cafe. Shed, do you want to do your usual plugs, maybe?
Okay. Usual plug. I'm a YouTube Let's Play personality. I stream my own D&D game every Tuesday at 22:30 GMT because it's a better time for everyone apparently. Make sure to check out my YT channel, Kerchow, and we'll hopefully be getting back to playing some more Vampire the Masquerade Redemption at some point in time, considering how the last week or so has been me out for the holidays with family and my girlfriend visiting from like 4 states over.
God damn it, I so want to get into Vampire the Masquerade, but like Shed, most the GMs GMing VTM are goddamn Americans, and their weird time zones don't allow me to join.
Oh yeah, they promote shit, guys. Yeah.
Yeah.
Take the
So
opportunity.
So Matthew is our player today.
Alright.
Neat.
Do you wanna also do a recap of what happened last time, maybe?
Oh yeah, sure.
You know the part when you did the bad thing and you get almost burned by a shadow mage's anger. You know that part.
I don't remember that part.
Do you know,
Let's see.
do you know what I've been getting into lately? Fucking
What is that?
putting a pinch of salt in coffee.
Ugh.
No. I
That
don't mean
sounds horrible.
not a chef's pinch. I'm talking like amateur pinch. You know, when you sort of like, you know, you the tip of your finger and thumb meet. It well, surprise, surprise, salt is a flavor enhancer. It actually works. I've had to put sweeteners in my coffee though, which reminds me, I forgot to put sweeteners in my coffee because it only works when you put sweeteners in it.
How? I'm trying to comprehend how this works, but I can't.
Works without the sweetener. No need sweetener. We got a new track as well. Offer promotion of your channel, follow viewers. Oh, for God's sake. No, you're right, man. I've had conversations with two sort of Twitch promoters, and neither of them can give me a straightforward answer as to exactly how. I've had one that said, "Oh, well, basically, I've got these list of email addresses, and I'm going to send them all off." And I said, "Well, pen and paper tabletop games are pretty niche, so how are you filtering these email addresses? How you select them? Where you gather them from? Where you sourcing them?" Couldn't give me any information at all. I'm like, well, I'm not willing to invest unless I know what I'm buying. I'm not afraid of being pitched. In fact, I enjoy being pitched. As I tell the guys at TTA all the time, you got something that excites you, you want to see run on here, that you want to run with? When you, Matt, when you're rolling for HP, you're going to have to do it manually because you do it one dice size higher.
One dice size higher.
Mm-hmm. It's all I've
Yes,
offset the -1 for
necessarily.
rolling.
He doesn't necessarily have to do it manually. He can just use the little D20 on Roll20 to roll 5 dice at a time.
That's like manual in the sense that you don't click the
Not using the
button on
sheet,
the
like.
character level up. Yeah.
So you want me to roll
Yeah,
for every
first,
level, or can I take averages?
no, roll for every single one of them, one dice size higher.
Cool.
Yeah.
What is your class, my man?
Oh, I know how to do this, it's fine.
You're a what?
Yes.
You're a just tell me, man, please.
Why
For
do you
the
need to
dice
know the
size?
class?
So it's a D8. Knowing Matt, it's might be a rogue. I feel it's probably not a rogue.
If he's rolling D10s, it's a D8 class.
Which
If it's D8 class, then his options are Rogue,
The most
Cleric,
options,
Warlock
Artificer.
Bards.
could be an artificer.
Bards are D8s. Wow. Okay.
How big do you think bards are? They need
Monk.
Yeah,
Monk is
but
D8.
I feel it should be a
yeah,
D6.
D8 is the most. Yeah, but
Yeah,
actually,
I feel that bards should be D6 as well, because like wizards and sorcerers are D6s. Why are bards the other full caster class not D6s? Also, druids are D8s as well.
Yeah, but it's sort of like the it's supposed to be like I was trying to place bards. Bards used to do my nutting, right? Because I couldn't wrap my head around it. You've got this adventuring band, right? That like, you know, scales mountains, cave crawls, and fights orcs and goblins. You know, and you think, okay, wizard, that makes sense. Command the elements. Sorcerer, same. It's just wizard but different. You know, and you got your fighting your barbarian, which are just basically the same but different again. And then the rogues, you know, you sort of your lockpick, the infiltrator, and they do gnarly things with daggers. And then you have a minstrel. And it's just something about the idea of taking a guitar with you along on an adventure, and she's like, I know what a guitar. Like, I've got my Takamine down there, right? I would never take that up a fucking mountain. It would be destroyed. The humidity alone. That's it. Even if I can keep it fucking... That's even if I can keep it from getting battered. So the idea of like just walking around with a minstrel, and music comes from me playing music, it was just sort of like that, just... I couldn't fit that in my head, right? I just could never picture it.
That's why.
Yeah, but that's not exactly
that's why. That's why Pathfinder bards had a literal cantrip to let them just conjure a fucking instrument for themselves.
But it's like, with the, playing about a bit more with the sort of phase stuff and, and sort of almost like sort of expanding my sort of, expanding my fantasy knowledge. I kind of accepted the sort of bard to a certain degree. But when I really struggled with it, it's not just like picturing this idea of a minstrel being somehow useful amongst, a band of extremely capable people. It's sort of like, well, what is the point of him? Again, like you fight there and your barbarian, he's your up front boy. Your casters, laying down sort of effectively range damage and battlefield control. Your rogue is is a damage dealer and a flanker. And it's like, what does a bard do? And it's like, it does like support magic and stuff. I'm like, okay. But is that what he's really doing? What's with College of Swords and the College of Valor then? And I sort of realized then it's sort of like a red mage. I'm like, okay, it's a class that does a little bit of everything.
Yeah.
But it doesn't do a little bit of everything, because it doesn't do a bit of casting. It's a full caster. It doesn't do a little bit of skills. It's got expertise as well. And it's got jack of all trades. It's a better skill monkey than a rogue.
I think rogues get more expertise than bards, no?
No, they get the same. They just get it the years earlier.
But also, and their spellcasting is limited by the available spells they can cast or learn.
But they can pilfer from every list.
I mean, yeah, after level 10. And only 2 of them, yeah.
Unless you go low bar and you can do it even earlier.
Yeah. Yeah, a bard is kind of a hybrid, and you get a base of a spell sword, and then when you get your subclass, you decide which aspect you go closer to, and it still won't be as good as like a sword bard won't be as good as a rogue, but you still got your other class aspects, so to say.
You
I'm
got
just
the
gonna
extra
put out
attack.
there, a College of Swords bard can be really, really fun and really, really deadly to play.
Oh, definitely. Like,
Well-
I don't underestimate them.
They
that's
not
also
only
something.
get like the best support spells in the game, but they can also take the best support spells from other classes at level 10, and then to add on to it, they get the fucking blade flourishes that let them just enhance their AC just straight up
But then
whenever they want.
But then I started playing bards, and do you know what? I typically say that I main brutes, right? And I always look to see like how brutish I can make a class. Which, funny enough, when I was going through, we was doing a homebrew workshop, and I was looking at when I balance checking the sort of homebrews up against the official stuff. Spores druids are massively overlooked, because no brute main ever looks at a druid to make a brute unless you're going to do a drubarian. But yeah, the spores are so strong. You can make a brute, like, obviously, as we know, right, if you want to optimize a druid, you're just going to be conjuring animals as soon as you're able to do that. Up until that point, you are the most deadliest person with a quarterstaff and shield. You get really good AC. You get temp HP, additional damage to every damage you do. Plus you got Shillelagh, which means that it's okay. It was decided that it does get overruled, so it's always going to be a D4 with a bonus attack, so it doesn't become a D8 because of Shillelagh. But your main attacks are still D8, and you get extra damage dice on top of that, and you got a weaponized reaction. You do damage with your reaction every turn on top, so you're like out damaging every other brute apart from like the barbarian, and that's only because Reckless plus Great Weapon Master.
I've recently seen a build. I didn't look into it deep, so I don't know how it works exactly. But the idea is to multi-class Spore Druid with Way of the Open Hand.
Yeah, I've
Open
seen
palm,
it.
yeah.
I've seen it happen before. I've seen my in my Tuesday game, my Reigns of Itium campaign. Renswa is a Spore Druid monk. And they utilize the Spore Druid to give themselves extra necrotic damage on each of their little unarmed BAP attacks. And it's pretty good. From what I've seen so far, they haven't gotten like too far into their level scheme because they're like a level 7 character. And the campaign isn't really like a mid-maxy campaign of sorts. It's just kind of like a fun one. But that character is doing Spore Druid plus monk. Because Spore Druid gives your attacks, just your attacks in general, with just your attacks in general, additional damage, I believe. Let me look at that real quick just to be sure. Druid spores. Halo of Spores. When a creature moves within space.
Oh, nice.
Okay, that's it. Spores. Symbiotic entity. Okay, symbiotic entity. You gain the ability. Yada yada yada. As an action, you expend the use of your wild shape feature to activate spores. You gain 4 temporary hit points for each level you have in the class. And while this feature is active, you gain the following benefits. When you deal your Halo of Spores damage, roll the damage die a second time and add it to the total, and your melee weapon attacks deal 1d6 necrotic damage to any target they hit. These benefits last 10 minutes, or until you lose all temporary points, or until you lose all your temporary hit points, or until you use the wild shape again.
Which font actually has emotes on it? Georgia? Nope.
Why do we have someone in the Roll20 with Lotus's Peak but Fractal as the name?
Who knows? I don't.
Well, Fractal is Fractal.
Yeah, but like enable the pictures, the images on Roll20.
Wait, who is Fractal? Why are they here?
Fractal is Fractal.
Fractal is Fractal.
Why is fractal?
Yes, but why are they here?
Because they're going to be guest character, bump up the numbers.
Oh, okay.
No,
You don't tell me about guest characters before they just phase into reality over here, and I get confused.
We were just talking about it.
Yeah.
Oh, I was probably asleep.
I don't know color though.
Don't worry, it's only 3 a.m. for me.
Ah.
Well, 4 a.m. by now. Oof.
See, that's what I mean. That's what I see on display on my end. What I posted into Discord.
Okay, I'm done.
No, that's chaos. Stop, please.
He's a druid.
So Matthew's
His name is Druid.
Oh boy.
So we'll figure out a way to introduce these two characters in there. I'm sure there'll be some kind of shenanigans.
Here, I know how they introduced. We hear a screaming from the sky. Both players flop down to the ground in front of us. And they stand back up and they're like, well, that was a trip. Where'd you come from? Don't ask. Don't ask. Don't ask, don't tell, otherwise you'll wind up the same way.
Or, they get to do their backstories. That's an idea as well.
Yeah, I have an incredibly detailed druidic backstory.
Yeah. They could be brought here by Austin Powers.
I've been fighting an eternal war against the Sky Vampirates,
Of course.
which is why I
No.
fell from the sky.
Why can't I?
There
Oh,
you go.
I was waiting for
He
the.
got shot out of a cannon. He got keelhauled.
Yep, and because I didn't know Featherfall, I just wild shaped into a blue whale, which impacted on the ground at maximum velocity.
Oh. Oh, is it?
We just go to a
Yeah,
crater, you're just in
Monty
the-
Python's The Meaning of Life, isn't it?
No, that one's Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy.
Yep.
Was it?
Yep.
Yeah.
A potted plant.
Yeah, because you had the
turns
potted
into a
plant as
whale.
well. It's like, oh
Yeah.
yeah, we're describing the thoughts of the blue whale, and all that went through the potted plant's thought is, oh no, not again.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a masterpiece. I love that book.
All I can think of is
Oh, yeah,
you just you're a blue whale. You flop down. You splash water everywhere. And there's just a giant crater with you in the center of it, Yamcha posing.
Yeah, it's. I was just trying to think as to what do you know where of so Fractal, just to give you a bit of a just a heads up on you, Shad. He's the just one of the server's latest server managers.
Yep,
He
I've
is
heard
the
about him.
world builder of Lost in Limbo. And doing some
Okay.
great things here, but he's Indian and you're American, so it's not really shocking that you haven't sort of crossed paths yet.
But of course,
Wait.
time
zones.
zone.
Yep.
Time zone's the thing, yeah. We are global.
Yep, I've always heard about you, but I always wanted to meet you, and I have.
Oh, what am I, a celebrity on TTA apparently?
Nope, I was like always interested in like your things you post and all, so I just wanted to like talk to you. So that happened.
It comes with the rank, Shed.
Yeah, you have high status on you.
Hey,
Right,
Hey,
you got
that's what's up.
there's a character sheet there. So
Okay,
so it's
yeah.
just tell me what to do right now. Like what things do I have to do right now?
so
you make a character?
yeah, I
I know.
just keep obviously right. He wants to know the details of that chat.
Like, do I send my video feed or something like that? It's not.
Yeah. Incidentally, can I have your video link, please?
I have already sent it. It's in the chat on Discord for the campaign.
So it is. I'm
Uh,
friggin' blind.
Fractal, it's the same way as we use with the Star Wars one.
Yep, I know. I was just asking whether I have to do that or not.
Right. Okay. So yeah. We're doing that right. As far as character matters, where's Aussie's video camera? Oh, we got. Right. We do have. Matt Cam. There's Matt Cam. I'm hoping he's going to be... Hey! He's at a mop shop.
Yes, I lost all my hair in the hair war.
Let's move him up there. Yeah. Oh, Journey was a great choice. Wait, what? Oh, fuck's sake. No. Let's lock that. I was adjusting the wrong thing. I'm annoyed now. If we knock off Lotus Border, there's Avatar, lock them up. Properties. Fractal was slightly different text to everyone else. I love it. That's what we're gonna do. Actual fact, there is. I'm just looking there. There is 3 different texts no skulls on the screen at the moment now. I love it. It makes you all individual. Except Mac and Victor, because I got the same one for them.
It's been my font
Unfortunately, we are
purple
the
to fix
same.
this.
Yep, is my voice audible now?
Yep.
Okay.
Loud and clear.
Let's drink before we start.
Yeah, you can see it sort of picks up around about this time. This is why I don't mind the sort of impromptu sort of podcast at the start. Because like when we first get up, for the first hour, it's like 3 viewers, 4 viewers, 5 viewers. And then this is when it gets to like, about, you know, up to like 10, 12 viewers. Yeah, it's about between sort of, yeah, normally be between about sort of 10 and about quarter to 11. So like most people catch only the second half.
So what level characters are we making?
Right, it's level 10, so please pick something simple. There's a particular way, just do average health for now, but I'll show you how they do health afterwards. We can just do it all in a single macros. For your character stats, I'll just send you the macros, it's easier. So,
A 1. That's a good start.
there's the macros. Yes, it's a psycho roll. D20s. So,
That's a 12.
how are you assigned tapping?
I don't know.
What? What the fuck? Like, hang on.
I'm so. I decided to play a rapid chess game until we get set up, and every time I'm so fucking disappointed when someone tries to give me the fool's mate. Like, bro, no.
What I'm doing with that is I'm playing. I'm playing bots. Well, I'm at 1800 at the moment with bots, but I've got suggestions and takebacks up. Because what I'm doing, I'm just sort of exploring the moves and just seeing why is it suggesting me to put my donkey there, like, and why isn't the suggestion to put my bishop here? Because that to me looks like the obvious turn. So I try the bishop, play it through, and go, oh right, I get fucked. And then I run it back again, run it forward, run it back, and just try to wrap my head on it to see how I should be able to spot that in future. I'm like, okay, I get it now. And then I'll play the donkey and see how that plays out. So you always get the sort of 3 suggestions. So sometimes there are like mistakes and blunders even within those 3 suggestions. So if it's something I've decided to do amongst those suggestions, and it's like, oh well, you know, that's a blunder, I'll find out at the end of the game, and then they'll give me suggestions of other moves to make as well. So I learn more at the end of the game as well. So I've kind of just done it in a way that's just maximized my learning. But the downside is I have absolutely no idea what my LO should be. I have genuinely no idea.
This is what happens every single time. I see someone try to do the fool's mate, and they are a fucking fool. They bring out their queen in the beginning, and then they just aren't careful enough. Like I don't know if you see it in my camera right now.
Yeah.
Wait, I'm trying to position.
You can see it.
What do you think his next move was?
Oh, he
Is
didn't
he
put
black
the...
or are you white?
Wait, you actually can't see the white pieces. I'm just gonna send a screenshot in Discord. That's simpler.
It's beautiful.
Right. So while Fractal's rolling up his character, 'cause he's going to be dipping in at some point as well, we do have a Drew ID. So, ladies and gentlemen, Matthew, Drew ID, is going to become a permanent fixture for the improv foreseeable future. Fractal's...
Screenshots in.
Fractal's coming in as a guest character, so we'll drop him at some point. So he's going to play for a wee bit with us. So basically, Matt's the substitute for Fryer, because Fryer's not going to be coming back. I think I've already announced to you guys, which is unfortunate because he was a fun guy. But Matt's fun too, and to be honest with you, Matt would have been one of my first picks. Anyway, well, I would have loved to have seen Matt and Fryer in the same game because that would have been fucking glorious. But you know, alas, if I could have had picked any bunch of people, I would have been. It definitely my A team would have been Matt, Fryer, and Cookie, who you haven't met yet. I think that would just been
yes.
that would have been
Sad.
just beautiful chaos. Beautiful chaos.
Okay, so yeah, Tafe, it's in the chat. White's move is next. I'm playing black. What do you think his next move was?
Oh, so let's see.
I'm going with takes white bishop with queen.
Nope.
Takes knight.
Nope. It's very
He's
more
going to move his.
atrocious.
Is he going to move his bishop up against that pawn, isn't he?
This is the next move he made.
Board with the pawn. Oh, that's good.
Oh my sweet summer child.
That's hanging queen.
Hold on. Can I? What? I don't see the
Yes.
difference.
With the
queens.
bishop, you can just take the queen for free.
It's basically free real estate.
Yeah, I just took
Oh
the
my-
queen and he gave up.
Oh
fine.
my sweet summer child.
Oh my fucking god, this was the most ridiculous game I played recently.
That is some proper 600 shit though. That in there, you know.
Yep.
No. You see that's the real 300 IQ move. What you didn't realize is that he was really setting you up for that bishop to slide in there and just take your king.
Why did he immediately give up then?
Because he saw you make an equally foolish move and he's like, this guy's too dumb for me. I can't I have to make him believe he won.
Somebody come up with a really
He was playing 10D chess.
Somebody came up with a brilliant game mode for chess to try out a different variation on suicide chess. So the rules are right that every single turn you make has to be a blunder. If you can't see a blunder on the board, your opponent takes your turn for you. How utterly chaotic is that going to be? Trying to pull a win out of that.
Okay, here's another variant. That
I'm trying to
we
figure
used
out how it's not going to turn into a draw, but
Here's a variant that we used to play when I was a kid in elementary school, and I was participating chess classes. Your goal was to lose all your pieces except the king, and if you had only the king left, then you won.
yeah. So
And-
I was thinking.
Every time the other had the opportunity to take a piece, they were forced to take that piece.
Yeah, that's
And if
suicide.
they
That's
didn't-
suicide chess.
Yeah. And if they didn't notice that, then I didn't know that that's what it's called. Yeah.
So I
and
think
if they
in
didn't
this-
notice the opportunity, then they lost also.
Yeah, this is this is obviously the intent is to win, and the only way I can think of winning would be similar to the suicide chess rules, which would be that you've got to capture all of you got to have captured all of enough of your opponent's pieces that it's impossible for them to win, but you still have enough pieces to checkmate. So they can't checkmate, but you can. And it's the only way I can think of doing it, because you can't blunder and checkmates in the same move. It's not. There's no such move. There's no blunder checkmate. So that's the only way I can think of counting a win. But I think you'd have to be really good to play a game like that, because like I take moves and he's got, that's a blunder. It is. That's a blunder. And I got it. It's like 3 moves ahead. I lose my queen. I'm like, oh right. Oh, my queen gets pinned to my king with a bloody bishop. I'm like, right, okay, so I can't intercept this. I can't move it out of the way. So the following turn, I'm going to lose my queen. That's amazing.
Yep.
Anyway, so improv and stuff, because we are like hour into it. There's the impromptu sort of podcast done, rambling various different shit. Fractal's running his character, but that's absolutely fine because we're going to introduce 2 new characters today. One is going to be a permanent fixture, one is going to be a guest character. What the hell happened in the last session? I don't remember. Does anybody remember? Remind me. I remember lots of events. Yeah, I remember lots of things that happened, but I don't know what was the last thing that happened.
Okay. Well, on the last episode of The Beekeepers, TM, name work in progress, don't worry about it, we had returned with the royal honey in tow, with a pact for the Weasel Lord, a kid who may or may not be murdering people right about now. Don't worry about him. He's totally not going to be a big bad evil guy later. But we came back to the home settlement. We did a lot of generic roleplay. We got rewarded for our efforts. We got rewarded for the honey. We set up a new trade route between the town and this town. And to cap things off, the session ended with Skitter acquiring a list of locations and names for a few hits that she is going to perform.
That's right. Yes, you went to basically like a thieves' den.
Yep.
Went to a thieves' den.
And on the other side of the story is under established a partnership with the tavern and became a board member. And got a hefty reward and stuff.
Yeah, so become it was a good opportunity for me to bump your gold count up because you guys have leveled so bloody quickly.
He's a businessman.
That it was sort of like, right, I need to dump a shit ton of gold onto you. Matt as well, if you want to grab an uncommon magical item.
Quick, grab a moonsicle, Mr. Druid.
Almost certainly.
And Fractal the same as well. Grab yourself an uncommon.
Hey Fractal, what are you playing?
Fractal, we haven't had a roll from you yet. An ability score roll.
Didn't you see? It has already posted, or you can't you see?
Oh yes, I see. Right.
Yeah, it's under Tepin. There's like an 11, a 15, a 14,
Wait,
12,
why didn't that work?
18, and 13.
D20.
No, it worked. Like the two
it's not-
zeros are like they're there. It's just 11 and 15. It just doesn't it just doesn't display them for some reason.
Yeah, that's weird.
But
So
the
it's
numbers
11,
aren't
15.
there.
All right, you got a decent roll then. So, so it's 18, 15, 14, 13, 12,
11.
and 11. Fucking
Yep.
hell. Yeah, that's a big boy roll, but it's not too high that I got to dock you a D4. Because you've only got one. You've only got one over 15, so you can keep that. So you're gonna have a character with no ability score weaknesses, no dumps, and you can
That's
start with a
fine.
20. It is a boring roll. I do like them when they're nice and high. You know, they have high and low stats. It's always fun to have something, that is... What I find fun, right, with characters, the best fun characters I've had is when they've got high wisdom, low intelligence. When you say incredibly insightful things in a very stupid way. I've played a character like that, it's brilliant. I'd always go back to this, it's one of my favourite campaigns I ever run, and it wasn't necessarily because of the GM. The GM was decent, right? There was nothing wrong with the GM at all. I'm not taking anything away from the GM. But the players, it was almost like the A team, right? We had a rogue main that I learned so much about how to play a rogue optimally by watching this girl play this rogue. She was a boss, right? Scout everything, we'll scout out an area, sneaky, perfect. Come back with this intel. Her ability to maneuver on the battlefield and always be in the right place at the right time was phenomenal. Never get caught, never get caught out. So never get, stuck between, an orc and a hard place. Perfect battlefield positioning. We had myself, which obviously I play a brute main, and I got to play a monster hunter, a UA at the time. You know, the one that's got all like the wonderful sort of like the bonus, you know, the other things they could do with their battle maneuver dice far more than a battle master. So I was playing one of those, obviously spear and shield, and I got to have the blood spear or whatever the hell it is that's in that campaign. I got to have that bad boy, and oh, I was a monster. Louis Gant. Oh, look where I am, an odd bastard. And the bard was fantastic. He turned the entire all of Barovia was just turned against Strahd. He's like, you know, fucking fire and pitchforks. He was getting them all to believe in this Fire Lord, which was just him. It's secretly him. This Fire Lord is far more powerful than Strahd. You no longer need to worry about, hey, Dark Mage.
Hello,
Welcome,
Dark
buddy.
Mage.
Yeah, you never have to worry about Strahd now. The Fire Lord's here. The Fire Lord's going to take care of everything. But there's lots of, like, you know, up on balconies doing speeches to crowds and stuff. And he played a bard amazingly. He had the entire fucking realm at his feet. It was amazing. But even he was saying, and like, you know how I can read people IRL. When I read this sort of situation, and I said it in Louis Gant's way, in a sort of dumb way, and it's just, you know, all he could do is describe his character just looking at me, one finger up, mouth open, one finger down, mouth closed. Just took the tongue straight out of his mouth. But yeah, that group was just, yeah, because the GM had to keep buffing Strahd in the background. He tell us, I had to buff Strahd again because I think you're gonna fucking murk him. He says, fortunately, I've because there was a website. He had more powerful versions of Strahd. He was already up to the most powerful. He had to homebrew another by the time we were going to face this guy, because we were just going to walk straight through him. Anyway, one of the things the portals and stuff he was using. So we moved one of those into the river. So if he ever calls for his reinforcements or decides to pop into that place that he's expected to be at, he's going to find himself in the middle of a flowing river. It was like a Warner Brothers cartoon, and we were Bugs Bunny. So, what body consisting of? So just to give, we just done a sort of recap. The recap is more for people that have covered it up until now, because just to Dark Mage catch up to speed of what's going on, and we don't have an Aussie here to tell me to stop fucking digressing. So please, guys, just give me a nudge if I just go off on a tangent again. So the idea of this campaign is it's entirely improvised. It's very heavily chaos. We've had Obi-Wan Kenobi, who was sort of fitted in as a bee queen for this these giant beehives, where to get the royal honey in order to sort of bring back to this lactose intolerant cheesemonger, in order for him to make this particularly special kind of cheese with. We've had fire giants coming down from a mountain, so we've introduced them to the tavern because they've got lots of gold and they like to get drunk. So we've just exponentially raised this tavern's to revenue. It's, you know, when you have one of those dreams and it just sort of goes from one random thought to another and it makes perfect sense in the moment, but on reflection, when you wake up and start to recall it, you're like, wow, somebody must have slipped me acid when I was snoring. It's like that, but it's a bunch of fun. You'll also notice that in the sort of chat rewards, you've got a bunch of things in there. There is, we have in-game suggestions, which is just what it sounds like. Inspire the Vigilant, which is sort of like a yes inspiration, which gives the first player who reads your message out a d8 to add to any roll. An extra 5-minute break, that is what it says. Place name pool. I got a nice little place name pool when I come up with new places, so I can just pull stuff out of that proverbial hat. Healing aid, heal a party member, enemy approaches, pushes the game into combat. create an NPC, put as many details into that as possible. I did have to put that down on pause, but I think I managed to catch up with that enough now that I think I've only got 4 left that I need to introduce. And we got other things that can hit enemies and hit... Yeah. They can attack the party and attack enemies. It's a bunch of fun. We got stuff like this, look, so... Yeah, so you got attack and damage rolls for you guys as well when you use those features. So we're about to begin. We've had a bit of a player substitution because somebody's had a dip. So Matt now, who's been a sort of guest character in here now and again, is now a permanent fixture. He's playing a druid. We got Skitter, who is a ranger. We got Xander, who is a Sorlock?
Xander is a warlock.
A warlock.
I believe that he's a pure warlock.
I think classes are overrated because they don't exist in lore, so Shadowmancer, but if you wanna be technical, Sorlock, yeah.
Yeah, so Shadowmancer.
Oh, yeah,
so he's a Sorlock in order to make a Shadowmancer. So we have a Shadowmancer. Cool. So Skitter, I believe you just left. You've just left the Thieves' Den. You've got information on those hits you want to do. Xander, you've just come out from handshaking with the tavern man, who you've made a shit ton of money and now is agreed to give you a portion of the profits, so long as you keep making him the richest tavern keep in all of the lands.
Now there is 2 ways to approach that.
So Skitter's going to make her way through the town. She has targets, which I believe I wrote down and updated in our little chat log. If not, they're on my character sheet somewhere. Yes, I didn't update them. I'm a very good player.
It's improv anyway. It's only canon if it's remembered.
It's okay, I remember a little bit. Don't worry about it.
I remember.
Okay.
I remember. So, she's going to make her way to the tavern specifically, and she's going to kind of like enter it and look around. Where's Xander?
Well, this place has now been massively expanded. As you guys had started Alfresco, that thing is sort of like taken off a storm now. There's all sorts of people from all over the lands now, including the fire giants, all sat around tables, drinking and having a jolly good old time. So it might be a little bit tricky to spot Xander now. This is probably like the equivalent of a medieval sort of night bar kind of thing. Closest you're going to get to a club. Give me a perception roll.
Okay. Perception roll. That's a natural 1.
Woohoo!
It's a 10.
You got a 10 on that one. Okay. Xander, so what are you doing?
Passive of 19.
Xander is currently cannot be found leaving the establishment.
Oh, okay.
So you're just leaving the establishment. Okay, so Skitter's coming in, you're on your way out. You heading out the front or heading out the back?
I'm heading out through the front door. However, as I've said, he currently cannot be spotted. If you remember back in the first time what I mean by that.
No, I don't.
That's you, Tuffy.
Yeah.
Oh, Taffy.
So yeah, you would be coming on the back, so you'd be coming on the side then.
She just walks in.
Hey, Dark Mage, thanks for the follow, buddy. Oh, we've lost our music. Amazing.
She is going
I forgot to put it on
to look around, kind of eye everything. And then she's going to say, Xander, Please come out, or this establishment may get a minor infestation.
I don't think Xander's already there. Sorry, I don't think Xander's still there, so...
He isn't. He isn't. But there
Yeah.
are employees there. Those employees may know where he is, or if he left.
Let's see. Let the dice decide. Always the dice. No. Nobody has a fucking clue. Oh, like, sure, he'll show up at the tavern at some point. It is your general sort of like gathering spot. So, Xander, where are you heading to? Where are you going now?
So, I am heading back to Dusk's hideout. If you may recall, Dusk is the person who's leading this orphanage, so to say, of street urchins and kind of gang where Xander and Just Dave came from in the beginning.
Right, okay. Oh, that's probably going to be the same Thieves' Den. The one that Skid has just left.
Yep, we I was thinking that might end up like that.
What a
Alright.
world.
Okay, I had a really bad sleep last night, and I'm feeling that my English is kind of failing me today.
It's fine. It's fine.
Yeah.
So I can remember the voices I give these guys now. Okay. So, yeah, it's...
I believe my character is over.
Oh, Fractal, you're there. Do we have a Fractal
Yep.
character yet? We do not.
I just like need to name it. Yeah, just wait a bit.
We also need a Fractal cam as well.
You have already posted it
You did? Where?
in the Discord.
You did? Oh, so you did? Oh, God. I do apologize. I missed it.
Oh.
Fractal cam? There we go. Oh, you're going to be big.
Yeah, I'm in my dorm right now, so that's fine. It's a laptop camera, not the better one, so I have to sit close, or else you won't even able to be see my face.
Yeah, it's fine.
If I
There we
quick
go.
Second, meanwhile.
We have a Fractal. Okay. So we got a Fractal inbound. Yeah, incidentally, Matt, whenever you want to sort of like interject us when you're going to be stepping in.
I mean,
Oh God, here
yeah.
we go. All right. We're immediately going straight into the Goliath Wizard.
It was a chat request. He didn't have enough points, so I paid for him. If you'd like to, you can refund me them
I'm here.
and still go with
I'm
the
not-
encounter.
I'm not turning that down. That sounds like a riot. So,
Yeah. No. What I'm saying is you can refund me the points, but still use the suggestion because I did it for someone else.
No, but you did it because you wanted to. That's you wanted to see this.
I
And
mean,
you're-
I'm doing it because
and you-
I'm doing it because of chat interaction.
Um,
Fair.
but as everyone knows, in a tavern, every single corner is filled with rogues. So I've had to sit in the fifth corner, which is the one in the ceiling, and I'm just a raven up there.
Right, there you go. So you're in the
Oh.
rafters.
Yes.
Okay, the Raven in the rafters. There you go.
You know what?
You can talk.
Hey Taffy, would you allow me to? I think I have the perfect introduction for this Goliath. And
Oh,
this
you
gnome.
want to do the sort of description of this one? We could do that absolutely fine. So just to
Okay.
sort of like just to make sure we keep track of everything. So we have a Xander who's on his way down. Are you going in through the front door, or are you going through the sneaky way that Shad went through?
I'm using the way that someone who's a regular would be using. So I'm assuming the front.
Yeah, you'll probably pop in the front. Yes, She jumps in and says, hello there, Steve. Come on in. It's nice to see you again. How's Mary?
Mary is lovely. The kids have never been better either.
And then your conversation sort of trails off, and then as soon as the doors close, you just like, the end of the charade's over. And he goes, I'll put the kettle on, shall I?
That would be lovely.
So you are heading down there, and we have a, I should imagine there's a scream in town as Shad, take it away.
Okay. So, while Skidder is sitting in the tavern, taking up one of the elusive rogue corners, don't worry about it. The door to the tavern is kicked in as this Goliath with a gnome mounted on his back strolls in, looks around, points to Skinner and goes, "You boggy bitch, you! How dare you!" And he pulls out the gnome, and the gnome's like, "Throw me at her! Throw me! I got her! I'm gonna get her this time, you little son of a bitch!" And he pulls this gnome back, who has like this big round hat, this large conical red hat, this big bushy gray beard, and a little he looks like a traditional garden gnome, as he is holding him, and this Goliath just like cocks the gnome. And he said, and he levels the gnome at Skidder, and he just goes, "You gave me lice now, did you?" "Yeah, and you gave me fleas." And Skidder just looks at the both of them and goes, "You had it coming. You were filthy farmers last I saw you." "Oi, we were, and now we're bounty hunters with you as the bounty." As he levels the gnome, and he pulls like the belt buckle on the gnome, and the hat just ka-choo and just fires off like a fucking ballista, and just nails itself into the wall with this long chain attaching it to the gnome's head, as he just kind of goes, "Oh, I missed! You'd aim a little to the left. And the Goliath just kind of like shakes the chain loose, and the hat just retracts back onto the head, just tunk. And that's where we're gonna roll initiative. As Skidder's like, you deserve the lice you got for the insecticides you used on your plants.
All right, okay, we're do that. I tell you what, you're doing these voices so well. I'm gonna 1 second.
Oh no, I have to do a 3-way voice acting thing. And of course, the raven in the ceiling and
I can't follow that, my
combat
dude.
as well.
Right. Yeah. If you bugger off and come back in, you'll see you got GM permissions.
All right, give me just a second.
I'll slip into DMs between Matt and Fractal to see how we're going to be introducing these characters here. If they got anything.
I mean, they can jump into combat if they want. I'd rather not be fighting just myself. You know what I mean?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, it's it's solitaire D&D is a bit weird.
Solitaire D&D is indeed very weird. That's why I was hoping, nay, praying perhaps, that, the other 2 players available for this entire combat might get involved in it.
I mean, maybe. What you offering?
Skidder is rich. She will pay you in insects. Probably.
Ooh, insects.
Only the ones that were dead and that were old or infirm are dead.
No, I don't want you defective insects. Give me the good ones.
This is a good one, yes?
You can't scam a druid on the validity of your broken insects.
Also, for reference, they are a Goliath wizard and a gnome artificer. Hence why the chain hat. See, Goliath gets 20 because
Did I
he
do that
has a fairly
correctly?
good dex. Gnome gets 15 because he has a better dex. And Fractal, you may of course jump into initiative whenever you so desire if you want to.
If you're like I'm seeing the stream, if you're wondering about HP, the character manager calculated it to 90 before I took tough.
What? I'm sorry, you have a very, very thick accent.
Ignore whatever the character pad comes up with and just work out your health manually at the end.
Yeah,
Yep.
the character monster is usually not that right.
Is that correct? That is correct. 1270.
Alright, we have a very minor update. He is a gnome artificer fighter.
I have no idea how you got 110 there, Fractal, but
Because I took tough and I'm level 10, so I'll get like 20
oh, you
HP
get
more than.
tough. That's why. Right, that's the macros for your health. Because you roll for it, but you go 1 dice higher.
So the last one then, right?
No. The one I just DM'd you.
Ah.
I should be doing this silently because we don't. Yeah.
So, first in the round is Skitter, who stumbles backwards with her bow drawn, and she says, "I'll give you worse than lice and fleas this time, foolish farmers. You'll be having maggots in you this time." And she's gonna take a couple shots, going ugh, at the Goliath wizard.
Does that include the tough feat, or I'll have to add that myself?
Isn't it? DM me. We shouldn't be talking over this.
Yeah. Okay.
And let's see, taking into account the average AC of a wizard, those will both hit. She's going to be applying her swarm bonus and her favorite enemy bonus, because of course her favorite enemies are humanoids. Goliath wizard takes a grand total of 27 points of damage and is bloody because he is a damn wizard. As he's just like, they got bugs on me! Get them off! As the swarm kind of like crawls along his chest from where these two arrows just kind of like pip-pap into him as he stumbles backwards a bit. And this kind of swarm of insects begins to spread outwards. And he's just like, and in a panic, he's just like, you know what? I got the perfect thing for you. Go get him, Drew. Oh, I'ma get him. As he tosses the gnome up, he snaps his fingers and points at the gnome. As the gnome stops his free fall about 10 feet off the ground and hovers a little bit. Lifting upwards, he straightens where his hat is pointing directly at Skitter, and he begins to spin and rotate and pew, fired with a I'm gonna say 3rd level catapult spell. That is gonna be a dexterity save for everyone in the line, which is just Skitter at this point in time. 27 is a save. As Mr. Gnome Artificer Wizard takes a grand total of 3d8 bludgeoning damage, which is, I believe, the damage of a catapult spell. As he pins into the wall behind where she once stood. Oi! Where do you get off dodging like that, you little bitch? I'ma get you! As he kind of just like scribbles his feet in the air and just like claws at it, just like trying to get her. He's gonna make a grapple attempt at her, which is gonna be an 11 plus his athletics modifier because he is a raging Cajun gnome with a good strength to him. I'm gonna say that his grapple is going to be a 18, so he has a +7. I'm gonna roll acrobatics. Skitter with a 28 manages to deftly avoid his attempts to scrabble and grapple, and we go to Mr. Id's turn.
I'm currently a raven in the rafters, but things seem to be popping off. So as a bonus action, I will revert to my human form and immediately fall 10 feet to the ground. Someone roll fall damage.
Okay, I got you. As you revert to your raven form, you find that your purchase on the rafters is untenable, and you go, ah! 4 damage
Thank you,
as you break a table in the middle.
I pick myself up and kind of dust myself off and go, wow, that escalated quickly. And I'm going to attempt to cast Polymorph on the gnome.
Oh no! What are you polymorphing the gnome into as he makes a wisdom saving throw with rolling a 2? Ooh!
I wish to turn the gnome into an incredibly fluffy sheep.
So, you turn the gnome into a sheep. His hat still remains, and he is a very angry sheep going, "Rah! Rah! Rah!" as he just like kicks at the air while still like wriggling in place.
That's my
Rah! The Goliath wizard looks at you and goes, "Oi! That ain't right of you to do that." And
It's a reasonable establishment.
you hear Skitter from behind, just kind of like, "Ugh, fresh meat for the swarm." As the gnome then goes, a bit more terrified. Fractal, are you able to roll initiative and get into this combat, or are you not participating in this moment?
You could very
Yes, that is
easily
the
be
right amount of fluffiness.
200% fluff increase. Alright then. Next up, we have Mr. Gnome Fighter, who is stuck in a wall. He is going to attempt to free himself from the wall. And with a 6 plus a sheep strength of a +1, I believe, it's a 7. I'll say that he managed to use his weight to kind of like leverage, just like pump, tunk, landing on the floor. You then hear as he turns to look at Skitter, and he goes, and he begins to do a ram's charge. Oh, that is a 13 plus 1 is a 14 plus a sheep stats is a 15. That is going to miss Skitter as she just kind of like, "Olay, little meat, olay!" As he just kind of like goes, just kind of like charges on past her, skids on the floor, just like, just kind of like, you know, deja vu, drifting, turning around, looking at Skitter. You then hear. As just like paws at the ground, just like, and you hear as they go in for a second charge. Olay, little meat, olay! and just they miss completely, just skidding around, and they look back at Skitter, malice in their bovine eyes, and that is the end of their turn. Skitter, being completely entertained by this, and knowing the real threat is the wizard, decides to ignore the gnome fighter and instead focus on the wizard. She pulls out another arrow, going as a bit of blood leaks from her as she forms this psychic arrow with a bit more of a static electrical charge to it, as little spark flies float off of her armor and onto the arrow itself. Lightning arrow. 3rd level spell slot used. Oh, no, wait, she can't use lightning arrow in this instance because this is a crowded place. She will instead utilize Ensnaring Strike. Yes. We're gonna roll a to hit. That will hit a wizard. The wizard makes a strength saving throw with a natural 1. That is gonna fail horribly as I apply spark, as I apply this. And we roll damage on that. Your boy's gonna take an additional 1d6 damage, so that is 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 damage. And he is restrained, so the next attack has advantage. Ow, ow. With another Kerchow, that's a 19 to hit instead of an 11. For a grand total of 14 damage. So that is another 29 damage on this wizard. And this wizard's just like, oh, the vines and the arrows and the bugs, they're triggering me. I don't know what I'm doing anymore. As the arrow kind of like embedding in his chest sprouts out, and these two overly large centipedes just wrap around his body and pull him in tight, cinching his arms to his chest, completely restraining him. And one centipede just kind of like looms over him, drippy venom claws. And at the start of his turn, I believe he's going to take a 1d6 of damage as this centipede just digs into him, and he's like, oh! He just starts frothing at the mouth, and in his final act of desperation, before he does finally succumb to his wounds and go down, he is going to attempt to dispel magic the polymorph. That is going to be a spell ability check plus a 3, which is a 16. That is enough to dispel the polymorph. As the wizard goes, oh, and just kind of like froths at the mouth and collapses, with the centipedes beginning to chew on him. The sheep is defloofed, and out of the ball of fluff emerges an even angrier gnome, who pulls out 2 hatchets. Sink, sink! You killed me, mate! I'll erase you, you buggy bitch! And then you too, you little druid fuck! As the spell ends, and his Goliath wizard friend collapses. It is not your turn yet. Mr. Druid, what are you doing?
My polymorph's been dispelled.
Yes, your polymorph has been dispelled.
Uh,
If only you could, I don't know, recast it.
I mean that would be one option, yes. Yeah, I'm trying to. I'm not trying to kill people. This is just trying to calm everyone down. So yes, I will go for the polymorph again.
Alright,
but
then.
this time on the wizard, if the wizard's still up. Otherwise, the gnome.
The wizard is not up. The wizard is down currently.
If the wizard is down, then the gnome. And
Alright,
again,
then. The
we will
gnome.
attempt to ensheeple the gnome.
Ooh,
The DC is 18.
The gnome will succeed because they have a +1 to their wisdom.
As is.
They had exactly enough, as they managed to shrug off the polymorph spell, trying to warp their body against their will through sheer force of will of their own, as they stare down at their arch nemesis, Skitter. Upon their turn, you see them take a deep breath. Action surge. You see them level into a stance. And they stare down Skitter. You might think putting lice in people's hair and putting fleas in their beards just for doing honest farm work is something you can do, but it ain't nothing that you can just get away with. You may have your companions, but I have me ancestors, and we will strike you down. So with the weight of the farmers, the weight of the crop, and the weight of the sickle and the hammer, we will rock you. As he just pitter patter, pitter patter, pitter patter, and he goes in and makes 4 attacks. 1 hit, 2 miss, 3 miss, 4 hit. 2 hand axes. That is going to be a grand total of 7 plus 6 is 13 damage. As he managed to find purchase with 2 of his attacks, striking upon Skitter and knocking her back a bit, and tossing her bow to the side as he just kind of like looms over her. We ain't done yet! Tears streaming down his face. We ain't done yet! Effrey, you are entering the bar, and you see a scene of a Goliath currently being strangled by 2 giant centipedes. Oh, speaking of 2 concentration checks for that. Constitution save. Oh, and centipedes are gone, never mind. As they revert to normal size, and skitter away. But you walk in, and you see a gnome towering over a tiny little kobold woman, 2 hand axes raised up in a fit of furious rage. You see a broken table with a druid man in the center of it who's just like tisking a little bit. And there's a Goliath frothing at the mouth with a couple bite marks on him and some puncture wounds on his chest. What do you do?
I shall charge at the gnome.
You shall charge the gnome.
Yep,
course.
since he is towering over a defenseless woman, at first I'll rage as a bonus
Yes.
action. And
Yes!
and move 15 feet with that. Then I'll use my movement speed to catch up with the gnome.
Go for it.
Then I'll just go reckless and do 2 attacks.
Do it. Do it to it.
This is a great weapon master, okay?
Of course. Alright, so that is a 17 to hit and a 10 to hit. The 10 will miss, but the 17 will just hit.
And since I see this is a situation of despair, I shall go action surge as well and do 2 more attacks.
You shall action surge as well? Oh man.
Yeah, because there is imagine this from my perspective. I enter the bar and I see an entirely battlefield with a gnome with 2 hand axes towering over a woman. I want to defuse the situation as soon as possible.
Of course, by all means, action surge. Roll your 2 attacks. The 22 will hit, and the 14 will miss. So 2 hits, 2 misses. Oh, that's 23 on the first hit, followed by 19 on the second hit. Is a grand total of
42.
Yeah, 42 damage. As you just
fitting.
waylay into this gnome. 1 axe, kind of like you kind of like take your big axe. You just go and kind of go ole oxen free, and with the first attack you cleave down, just kind of like open a wound across his chest as he wasn't expecting it. He backs up a little bit and manages to just barely parry the weight of your second strike and embed the axe into the ground, which of course gives you ample opportunity to then on the backswing, because it's a battle axe, of course, with 2 sides to it. You swing back up and cut him across the guts again and kind of like begin to bleed him a bit more as he looks a bit haggard. However, he manages to tuck and roll beneath your legs around to the other side of you as you miss with your final attack. And he stands up again, just kind of like, I'm not going down that easy, you brute. Not until I do what I came here to do. Do. Wow. Wow. Hey, look. And seeing Skitter easily trying to sneak up from behind him, he definitely just goes parry parry. However, the third strike manages to catch him across the side a little bit, as he takes a grand total of 10 damage and stumbles backwards a bit, just like, ugh, you think you got me? You think you both got me? We'll be back. We always come back. And with that, the wizard is going to make a death saving throw.
Oh no.
That frothing at the mouth intensifies just a little bit more, and some blood begins to kind of like leak out of these open wounds in his chest. Drew, what are you doing?
Yeah, I'm still more just trying to stop the fighting, so I think the polymorph is my best option still, so I'm gonna try and polymorph him again.
Alright then. Polymorph again. Oh, the man is indomitable. And on his turn, he looks at the situation, sees it's a 3v1, and no matter how brave the little gnome is, he knows that he just can't win this fight. So instead, he looks at all three of you. He takes his hand axes and he tosses them into the ground. And he says, "Mark my words, adventurers. We'll be back. Me and my brother there, we'll be back." And he tries to tuck and roll away. That is going to provoke 2 attacks of opportunity from both Skitter and Mr. Barbarian, if you would like to take yours.
Double crit. Double crit.
Ooh, Sting TM. It's only 1 attack of opportunity, and you do not have the benefit of Great Weapon Master, but a 19 will hit.
Okay, yeah. No, I just like forgot to tick it off. I
That's
didn't
fine.
intend to do that.
It's all good, my man. Alright then, so that is a grand total of 16, 17, 18, 27 points of damage on this boy who's already taken 42 plus. So as he tries to tuck and roll away, that stinger-shaped blade nicks him across the ankle and kind of like makes him stumble a bit more as the battle axe comes crashing down to his back with a meaty thunk. And as he kind of just goes, "Oh, oh," and stumbles forward a bit, dropping onto the ground, onto his hands and his knees, he looks upwards, and all you hear whispered from him, "Mother, is that you? Why didn't I second wind before running?" As he too collapses to the ground and begins to bleed out. Mr. Barbarian, who is in a rage, what are you going to do?
Do I see any other threats in the room?
There are no more hostiles in the room that you can see.
I shall approach the fallen down soldier and see if he is like alive or on the brink of death or something, or is it visible from here? Like,
He is currently bleeding out. He is not dead yet, but he is bleeding out.
then I shall consider the situation to be diffused and just calm myself down and using my psionic mind tell everyone in the room that not to be afraid anymore. The situation is fine.
Okay then, so is that your turn?
Yep.
Alright then. On Skitter's turn, the both of you hear the chirping of insects intensify as a swarm, a veritable cloud of insects seems to erupt from the very floorboards and obscures everyone's vision. Fog cloud. Gonna make a thing. Drew and Effrey, roll me a perception check.
27.
Okay. All right. Drew, you hear a shuddering as the Goliath breathes his last and perishes on his turn. However, you also hear the pitter-pattering of tiny footsteps and the dragging of a corpse. Drew, what are you doing? You cannot see. Everything is heavily obscured around you.
Yes, but I did see the gnome go down.
Mhm.
And since I'm aware the wizard's dead, I am going to attempt to acquire vision on the gnome. Heading in the direction I'm hearing the dragging.
Okay then. You walk through and your foot hits something small within the cloud. And you kind of like feel around with your foot a little bit, and it's clearly a body of some description. It's more than likely the gnome, considering the size.
Cool. I will then reach down and give him a level 1 cure wounds.
All right then. You hear a
And then leaning
I
down
think the
into his
second
ear-
half of that was legit.
leaning down into
literal
his ear, I'm just
possible
gonna say, you owe me a life debt.
I owe you a what? No, unhand me, you psychopath! And a struggle will ensue. All right.
Probably gonna fail.
Versus that. They have to roll off again. Nope. Versus nope. You hear cursing in a language you don't. Well, do you know Draconic, Drew?
I do not know Draconic.
Okay. Effrey, do you know Draconic?
Yep, I'm a dragonborn.
All right. You hear in Draconic, "Get back here, you little worm! I'm gonna feed you to my swarm!" As you hear, as you hear, "I'm getting out of here!" Pitter patter, pitter patter, pitter patter, pitter patter. Just like cha 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 cha. Little tiny footfalls on wood, and I'm gonna roll to see what direction he goes in. Okay. Effrey, pitter patter, pitter patter, pitter patter, thump into your leg. What are you doing?
So the gnome has already struck my foot now.
Yes, he has ran into your leg.
Okay, and is the druid directly in front of me?
No, you can't see anything because the swarm of insects is still there.
Yep. So I'll use
clouding
my
the
breath
area.
weapon to clear the area.
Oh, okay. What kind of breath weapon are you using? What
Yep.
be the damage type? Oh, psychic.
Yeah.
Oh no. I will say that you don't hit the other two party members, but you do certainly hit the gnome if that's the one you're aiming for.
Yep, I just want to clear the area in front of me, but you said he's near my legs, so I couldn't position myself so as to not hit him. I just want to clear the area of insects.
Roll me an Arcana check.
Oof.
Okay. You expunge this breath of psychic damage into the air, and the swarm around you doesn't seem to be affected by it. It seems to kind of like, it seems to roil and kind of writhe around you as you hear just kind of like this hissing fill the air. And it seems to just intensify further. It does not seem as if these creatures are natural or alive in the sense that you could kill them.
Can I use my psionic mind to understand what if they are trying to say anything or convey anything?
Your psionic mind gets a blank spot from all of these insects. However, you would note, because I'm just giving this to you because of your psychic mental connection, you do note, however, that all of them have a strand of thought connecting them all together, leading to one moat within the room, a very small, low-to-the-ground moat that's around 20 feet away. But that's just like a brief flash in your mind's eye. You can't really use it to track anything in particular, but that's generally where the thoughts flow into before just kind of like disappearing in your mind's eye. So this
Seeing
swarm
that
is a
I can't
controlled.
exactly track, seeing that I can't exactly track where this is coming from, I'll choose to just grab the gnome and just stay where I am.
All right then. You cannot make an athletics check as you've already used your action to make a breath. Actually, hold on. Is your breath weapon a bonus action? Oh no, it's when you take the attack action on your turn. So yeah, you can still make a grapple check as one of your attack actions. By all means, make me a grapple check or an athletics check.
Yeah.
You have. Oh
Yes.
nope, you beat him. Just you scruff him. You scruff the gnome. Yes. Drew and Effrey, the both of you will get perception checks.
22.
22. Fiv. A 22, Drew, you feel and kind of hear the pitter-pattering of little feet, of claws on wood, just this as something moves away from near your general area. And Effrey.
Yeah.
The gnome in your hand, you feel them take a hit from something. Save for them. They fail. And you feel them go limp in your hand as something else impacts into their very being. Boy,
I shall be very surprised by that.
Drew, your turn.
This is proving difficult. I shall cast Dispel Magic.
Oh. All right.
I would like to
just-
see what's going on. Go away, fog cloud. Of insects.
All right then. So. Yeah. Well, very minor side. Don't bother wasting your detect magic because I just remembered one thing. Fog cloud's concentration. So as the swarm of insects dissipates, you see the gnome in the barbarian's hands. How would you describe your character, Fractal, if you could tell us? Now that we can get a good look at him.
Yeah, he's like 6'3", like emerald dragonborn. He's like, his body is covered with green scales, very shiny, and he is like wearing very bone themed clothes. So he's covered with skeletons, skulls, rib cages, and all. And he's holding onto an axe. That's it.
All right then. You see him with a gnome in his hands that now has 2 fresh puncture wounds on their chest and is hanging limp with 2 large giant centipedes hanging off of them that look like they're about ready to start just digging into him.
I do the Spider-Man point at the kobold.
She looks back at you and she's like, "What?"
There
We
was no
had it
need for
coming.
blood. This is a tavern. We could have handed them into the guard.
Oh, my apologies. I was attacked and accosted. I defended myself.
The execution element of it was just incidental.
Just a little. Don't worry about it. So Drew, what are you doing? You still have your turn. You still have your action.
I'm just gonna stand there, just
Pointing?
Look at, just look at point.
All right.
Because
then.
I assume that there still may be just other tavern goers here who are also just, what the fuck is going on?
So the gnome is at 1 failed save. He automatically takes a d6 of damage on his turn, meaning 2 failed saves from ensnaring strike. And he fails his 3rd death save as those centipedes, bitten by their controller, begin to burrow into this gnome's neck flesh. And one of them kind of like burrows in further, the other one slithers into his mouth and just kind of like, and you see him and you feel him go limp in your hand, Efri, as the overly large centipedes, once their work is finished, diminish in size and then seem to disappear into nothingness.
I shall
Initiative
just
is-
like toss his
initiative is
body
over.
away in disgust because I'm very disgusted by insects. So I'll just like chuck his body across the room for fear of those centipedes crawling onto me.
All right.
Dude, they might eat your armor.
Once the gnome has been discarded to the side, Skitter, whom is a very small little black scaled kobold that has leather armor on, a fairly good looking bow, some short swords, and a sword that looks like it's made out of a animal stinger, like a giant bee stinger, and a cloak with a robe on. Just kind of like looks between the two of you wearily for a minute before she just grins in this almost too wide manner. And she just lifts up a very tiny hand and goes, "Hi. It was a pleasure to meet the both of you. Thank you for assisting me in this matter." She puts her bow away. May I buy you two a drink?" And with that, if Taffy would like to go to a different scene, he may certainly do so.
Aye, because throughout this we haven't had a victor in here. So, yeah, while this was sort of going on, Xander's sort of made his way down into the thieves' den. What was his name? The guy, the leader, the person? I'm asking Victor, because Victor's part of Victor's whole thing, isn't it?
Yeah, Dusk.
Dusk, that's the one.
Yeah.
Okay, Dusk. So, yeah.
Keep in mind the bit of lore I wrote to you about.
Oh, Jesus, hang on.
It's like a single sentence.
Is it within your character sheet?
No, it was DM's, but I'm gonna send it to you again. It's literally a single sentence.
Okay, pending that. And it was not pinned. Oh, damn it. We're very organized here.
Definitely.
She. Oh, fuck's sake.
I mean, that's just whatever that can be changed.
All right, okay.
That's not the important part.
All right. Okay. So, yeah, I mean, you head down into this sort of soundproofed basement. In the places you're fully aware that you can speak freely in. Survive the two, yeah. So he would escape with the Goliath's body and maybe become a reoccurring villain duo. Yeah, I think that was the kind of intent, but it just got kind of murked.
That was my intent. But Dice said no.
But but maybe they have a necromancer friend.
No, this is the thing. I would have completely revived them if I had the resources. They didn't deserve to die. They deserved to rot in jail, as far as I'm concerned.
Of course, yeah.
So, Skinner, pay up 2,000 gold so I can revive them.
Don't you mean 600 gold because Revivify is a thing?
No, because I'm using a different revive spell. 2,000 gold.
I'm not paying for their reincarnation. No.
You murdered them in public. You could either pay up or I'm hunting you into the guard.
What? No. We're doing Victor scene now.
So they sort of like back and forth. You said he was going to pay me. I know you're rich. That's sort of back and forth a little bit. While that's little deliberation starts going on in the middle of the, in a very public place. Yeah. So Xander, you make your way down, down into the sort of soundproof basement. It's sort of somewhat dank. You don't recognize any of them down there, but as you know, dust, doesn't necessarily take the same shape, at any sort of point. You have a gentleman in the back that you sort of recognize, which is the sort of bookkeeper for this area. This disheveled old man in a hood poring over some parchment. And there's another gentleman sort of leaning up against a supporting pillar, just sort of twiddling a dagger between his sort of fingertips. He turns to look at you. Ah, Xander. And you recognize from the smile that it is indeed dusk.
Hello there. It's been a while.
Indeed it has. I noticed that your legs are fully mended now. That's good.
Something like that, yes. It is more of a temporary solution, but a solution nonetheless. So, listen. I'm aware that I wasn't visiting quite as often as I should have. I'm aware that I wasn't as much of a help as... I know the policies, there are no forcing, we are all family after all, but, I know the unwritten rules. However, today I came here to maybe make it up a bit.
Okay. I've noticed that you've entered into the hospitality business. I mean, of course, the point is acquisition. It doesn't necessarily have to be illicit acquisition. Many of my followers are very successful and legitimate businessmen. Is this Xander? Someone you taking the straight and narrow path?
What is legitimacy itself, after all?
Why, indeed. Many considered to be legitimate business practices in some places of the world that will get you hung in others.
That's correct. The morality is just a construct of those who want to keep you in line.
You're learning quite well. So, you said you wanted to make it up to me?
That's correct. And I take out a pouch of gold, and I drop 320 gold pieces. I've been rather successful nowadays.
Takes it up, weighs it in his hand. Very nice. Have you been given a magical item yet?
No, I don't think so.
He's been avoiding them like the plague.
The most magical thing I ever owned is the greatest gorgonzola.
Okay, I got one for you. Yeah. As he's twirling the dagger around in his fingertips. I think you might get some use out of this. Might help you on your journey.
A dagger?
As much that A few decisions you've made of late might suggest that your life is about to get less dangerous. But I don't think you're going to be so lucky.
It isn't my style to be that lucky.
The dagger itself, you will have to attune to it, but it does a couple of things. First of all, it does what is a +1 to attack and damage. It'll do 1d4 magical piercing damage plus 1d4 necrotic damage. But that isn't the most interesting thing about it. The interesting thing about this dagger is if you Misty Step, every time that you, it allows you to effectively jump between shadows. So if you go from a place of darkness, you can jump to a place of darkness, like the old Shadow Dancer thing. It's a Shadow Dancer's dagger. But if you teleport to within 5 feet of a creature, you may, as part of this bonus action, make an attack with the dagger. So, yeah. There you go. Like a pseudo extra attack there for your character.
Quite interesting, yes. Now, quick question, mechanically. Did you mean that the dagger itself gives me the ability to...
Yeah, it'll allow you to
Misty
sort of
Step.
allow you to effectively do the Misty Step thing, but it's not it's called Misty Step even if it's not Misty Step. It's the bonus action teleport, but it's the
Shadow Monk
It's
thing.
a Shadow Monk thing. It's the Shadow Dance thing, so it allows you to move from a point of shadow to a point of shadow. And if that's where you end up is within 5 feet of a creature, you can attack that creature with the dagger as part of that bonus action.
Nice. Yeah, I was just unclear on the part where was it just the attack effect or the teleportation and the attack effect?
Yeah, as part of the teleport,
understand,
you'll make that attack. The reason why I thought of doing something like this is because you're using your Shadowmancy to stay out of danger an awful lot. So this is going to sort of like push you a little bit more into the front. So it'll make you a very solid flanker, but it does mean flanking does mean getting closer to the danger.
Yep.
We are 24 minutes past. It's probably a little late to do. Everybody good for another hour?
I'm good.
Okay.
Yeah.
If we could take maybe a 5-minute break and I grab something.
Yeah, that's what I was going to suggest. We'll have a 5-minute break now. We'll get back here at 12:30 and we'll play until 12:30.
So the big plan for the gnome Goliath was I was gonna if the gnome escaped without those 2 attacks of opportunity cracking into him, I would have had him grab the Goliath and pull out a scroll of dimension door and kind of warp out and have that be the encounter, and then have if the Goliath survived a death saving throw on his turn, I was also gonna have the gnome and the Goliath kind of level up quotation marks and then come back later. Not later this session, but just later in general as like another dynamic duo to strike revenge into the hearts of the enemies.
Poor guy.
Right, I'm gonna be right back.
But yes,
My
my
also,
dice out
Fractal.
calendar arrived.
Gosh, Fractal's no longer able to listen. I would say something. Oh, what's that?
It's a dice advent calendar.
Oh, nice.
We've so far got a D4, a D8, and a D12, and the D8 has a penguin on the 8.
I really hope the new arcade member enjoys themselves.
Oh yes.
It's a great meme. Hmm. Hey, look, it's an Orby.
Neat.
I was referring to something else. My mom's watching a movie called One Missed Call. An old horror movie.
Hmm. We have food.
Okay, everyone back?
Yeah.
Waiting on Victor. There's a tweet now. Over sarcastically productions. Might be an old tweet because it's a screen grab. Highly unfair that humans aren't bioluminescent, if you ask me. Followed by a reply to their own, which I think is what people do in order to get bypast the old sort of character count. My proposed bug fixes for Humanity 2.0. Rework the lower back to remove structural weaknesses. Yes. Teeth now regenerate. Yes. Remove redundant forms of hemoglobin. Fix feeling like you're falling when asleep glitch. Optional bioluminescence. Fix allergy glitch. Patch out mosquitoes. I can think of a few more. I put in there, which probably doesn't surprise you. Heuristics and probably a whole cognitive overhaul is needed too. We now live in a world that has access to genuine information. There's no reason for us to be mindlessly believing something just because the rest of our tribe does.
Oh, raise the threshold of cortisol generation.
What? Wait, cortisol. The fuck does that do?
That's the hormone your brain starts to make when you feel like you're stuck in a corner. Basically, it limits the options that you see in front of yourself, but makes your reaction time kind of quicker. That's the cause of angry outbursts, road rages, and such.
Ah. Yeah, I think that might be that could be sorted with the old cognitive patch, but then again, there are certain sort of undesired human behaviors that, or rather, not necessarily undesired, but like redundant human behaviors that are almost entirely hormonal. I think with a cognitive overall, you could sort of get rid of the, you there's so many people, they don't communicate with their words. It's like the shit that comes out of their mouth makes no fucking sense. What they're doing is they're communicating through cadence. They portray an emotional, they're communicating on an emotional level through cadence. Like, I've viewed some conversations with people, they could be sat there going, and they could be having the exact same conversation. Same information will be imparted.
Also, can we just flatten the Dunning-Kruger graph and make it a straight line?
That again, that's something that would definitely be dealt with the cognitive overall, because people would be then either just the natural would be that naturally inclined to just go, well, am I sure about that? Where do I get that? Why do I believe that? Where did I get that from? Can I find a reference to it? Can I disprove it? So, the old Dunning-Kruger will be done a bit, it's like, well, how much do I actually know about photography? I've made a couple of good photos and stuff, but, when I look at, like, professional work, I have no idea how they've got those effects. So maybe I don't know the first things about it, and I probably shouldn't be telling people what to... I'd have this little fucking digression. It's just irked the shit out of me for lately, right? I don't suffer fools very well, right? It is a character failing. I understand, yes, I'm intelligent, but that's not something I achieved. That's something I was born with, right? That's just, gene pool lottery, right? Although that is a bit of a double-edged sword. Like when they say more money, more problems. Like, I wouldn't give it up, but, I wouldn't necessarily recommend it either, as higher levels of intelligence does have a higher propensity of mental illness. It's true, for a reason. But, yeah, it's just, living in a world built by fuckwits, for fuckwits, the lowest common denominator. And so in certain things, when you shopping, right, shopping is a pain in the ass of trying to find information, because I always want to know what I'm buying before I buy it, right? And I have certain things that I want from a product, which I know some things within a product range would deliver where certain things wouldn't. So when you buy in certain things with technology, like you're buying a mobile phone or buying a laptop or something, you can find all of the spec there, because generally that's the only thing that you can really sell it on, right? You can't do it on glossy marketing terms and just hide it, in fucking rhetoric, right? You've just got to say, like, what is the RAM, what is the hard drive? Get depressed.
I mean, iPhone's still ahead of Samsung in sales for some reason.
Yeah. No, Fractal, it's not just that. It's just the existential dread that comes with it as well. It's the constant fucking question. It's the fact that everything, it's like you want more from things that's actually possible. And you just get this overbearing, existential problems. It's just...
The more expectations you have, the more the world starts to become disappointing.
It's... You think yourself into an early grave. But yes, it's like where IQ goes up, so does the propensity of misanthropy, which is something I suffer from, and it's an aspect of myself that I fucking despise. But I hate the fact that I hate my own species sometimes, but it's so hard not to. I am trying to be a philanthropist. I'm trying so hard, but people make it so fucking difficult. So when it comes to shopping for other things, though, things where the most common consumer is a bored housewife, and now this is not against all against all housewives, right? Some of them do a great job. Working class mums are the salt of the fucking earth, right? But I'm talking about those that, got no kids, have, never really achieved anything in their lives, that have married into money, right? But somehow thinks that their husband's wealth is their achievement. And the Karens is what I'm getting at, right? The drive the bimbo boxes. And this is the sort of most common consumer of things like electric blankets and a lot of sort of like extra, household goods. So shopping for an electric blanket. Now, I'm a guy, and I'm a guy that sleeps on my front, which means my bollocks are in contact with the electric blanket. So I don't like electric blankets to get too hot, which is what a lot of them do. Also, if I get cold, which being in an old stone house, sometimes during the deep, the middle of the sort of winter solstice, that kind of happen. I tend to wake up when it's cold. So I need to put some sort of heating on. I don't want to keep the heating on overnight because, well, it seems that heating in the UK is currently a luxury item. So I'm going for a more cost-effective electric blanket. The last time I had one of these things, I end up waking up because I'm too hot, switching it, because my bollocks are sticking to the inside of my PJs, right? I switch it off, get cold, wake up, switch it back on again. I'm just doing that then constantly throughout the night, and it's an absolute pain in the ass. So one of the things I want to know is to make sure that I can set this thing cool enough, right? So it's still warm, keeps me warm, so I'm not like in fucking 2 degrees, but at the same time, it's not blisteringly hot. So I'm trying to find the temperature ranges of these blankets. Now, I understand it depends on the external environment, but I do know this data is known because, well, the thing gets designed, right? The fact you have heating settings means that there is a thermostat, some form of thermostat that is designed to switch off or reduce the power once it gets to a certain temperature. What I know is what are those temperatures, right? So I've searched product information, manufacturers' websites. The only one that actually gives a temperature range, which sounds pretty good, is a £400 electric blanket, which I'm not forking out that kind of money for. Yeah. It comes with an aircon unit and stuff. It's a fully climatize your fucking bed. But I'm not paying that for climate control in a room where you can get an electric blanket for 60 quid, right? No, not spending that on it. So I think, fuck it, right? I'll just try it. I know this is a cesspool of stupidity, but I'll try it. So I asked the question, right, in Amazon product questions, right? This is my question. What is the temperature of the lower setting, right? What is the temperature being the predicate of the lower setting, the lower setting being the object, right? Very simple sentence. I had 2 answers within the first 24 hours. The first one was, check the product information, followed by a brief description of their bedtime routine and a review of the product. Which I can respect the first bit because most people don't, but if you're going to tell somebody to check the product information, you better make bloody sure that the answer to the question is in the product information, otherwise you're going to look like a fucking idiot. But the first one was just glorious stupidity, right? This thing has 3 settings, 1, 2, and 3, right? What is the temperature of the lowest setting? This person tells me 1 is the lowest setting, but I like to have it on 2 or 3 because it keeps me nice and toasty. This fucking sweetheart thought I needed help determining which number is lowest between 1, 2, and 3. Oh my fucking god. And I'm just like, why did I try? Why did I try the fucking Amazon questions? My god, like.
Well,
people
regardless
are
of all
idiots.
that.
So,
Yeah, game.
yes, game.
Yeah.
I actually question about the game. Not a question, just letting you know basically, because I know you would allow it. When I attune this dagger for purely aesthetic reasons, I'd like it from becoming a dagger to part of my my warlock genie ring.
So it sort of like comes in like shadow, spills out of the ring and forms a dagger, and there you go.
And the single purpose of that is that because then I will replace this ring as part of my quote cosplay with this one,
Nice.
and
Nice.
there we go.
Sick.
Ah, yes. Vic,
Also, Taffy,
ever
you
the-
reminded me of something similar which happened to me on Amazon. I had essentially gotten a new credit card and I thought, let's just buy a new washing machine since the old one was like breaking down. And there was an offer that they will give some free detergent, like liquid detergent bottles with the washing machine. I ordered it and only the detergent bottles came, not the washing machine.
Wow.
And it said it has been delivered. You know, I had to like talk to customer support for like 20 days before I refunded my money back.
Wait. You had to go through customer service sort of things. Fucking had it coming. You invented that shit. Well, you didn't, but you know. Yeah, it's one of the sort of basic what I call customer complaint. Here you go. I'm fucking speak to somebody out in the Middle East that, like, let's be frank, and I can totally understand. You're not gonna give a fuck. Like, you know, if I was working in a call center in the UK for, you know, customer service in America, I wouldn't give a flying fuck about that person's problem at all.
Actually, here I am. I'm not working at customer service. I'm working at service desk. So basically, instead of customers, I'm working with other employees on the other departments of the company. So the average intelligence is a bit higher, but still not there.
But you know what's still not
That's
there,
fucking
this game
glorious,
that
that
we're
is
trying
it.
to play.
And glorious. A fucking Indian complaining about customer service. That is just poetry in motion. I love you, Fractal.
More of a-
Managed to
more
get
of
it
a
resolved though,
cultural
yeah?
thing
Before we
than
move on
else.
to the game.
Yes. So, we're still on Victor after he gets his super cool.
Yes, he's
shadow
got a super cool dagger now and he's paid his stuff.
Hey Victor, I'm
Jeez.
sorry, but we destroyed your tavern.
What?
Excuse me?
I was making a joke
Oh, right.
because we had a bar fight in his tavern, so we technically destroyed his tavern.
Nah, fucking, that's just more work for Hansel and Gretel, whatever their names are.
Yeah,
I-
with that
I
kind
want-
of money, security is better than that.
I
Come
have
on.
a question. I have a question, Matthew. Did you have the foresight to take Animal Messenger so that way an angry squirrel can just like run up on Victor and just
Kinda
kind
no.
of like knock on his head and go, "We're in your tavern. There's blood everywhere. Tables are broken. People are dead. I'm complaining to you, the manager of this establishment, because this is not how you run a place of business." There's gnome in my soup.
There's a gnome. Waiter, there's a gnome in my soup.
Actually, have you tried
I think we found the
to,
title. I think we found a title for this episode. Waiter, there's a gnome in my soup.
Even worse, there's bugs everywhere. You have an infestation. I will see the health inspector about this.
I'm sorry, have you tried restarting the device?
The squirrel just simply holds up 2 paws and just like cocks an air gun. You'll be seeing. I'll be talking to your manager.
Hmm.
Pitter patter,
All
pitter
right,
patter.
all right. So, when this animal messenger comes, did I have time to attune to my dagger already?
Yeah, sure.
All right. Well, Dusk, my apologies, but I have to be going. Protect the business and everything.
Yeah, protect the business.
Okay. Follow-up mechanical question. Is it like technically Misty Step at will, or is there some resources or limited use to that?
No, it's unlimited. You're level 10.
Awesome, thank you. So yeah, I'm gonna just to hurry along. I'm gonna be jumping from shadow to shadow.
Just
to
testing the
reach-
dragon.
Yep.
Yeah, you
know,
see
I-
Victor just sort of like almost like turn into like shadow, which does sort of like this like activated charcoal black smoke absorb into the thing and then pop up into the other thing, and it's just happening.
I just had like a much more dopier image of like Victor emerging from the shadows and then going, oh wait, no, not my destination. Turning around, going right back into the shadows. Emerging out from another shadow and just going, oh wait, no, not my destination yet. Turning around, going right back into the shadows.
Yeah. So eventually gets there and like jumps out from the shadow of Skitter, because of course. And
Hello,
then
Xander.
you feel a pokey thing in your back, and I heard there is some trouble at my tavern.
Yes, two disgruntled people came and they attacked me while I was sitting here waiting for you. I killed them though. They won't be mean to us anymore. Although this person who helped me with my fight desires monetary compensation to revive them. However, I don't simply have the coin.
I need
And I don't
someone
want
else to
pay for
explain
it
the.
anymore.
I'm sorry. I'm going to need someone else to explain the situation. Someone with a bit more cognitivity to their explanation.
I have connectivity to my
Kozak!
explanation.
Kozak! Where is Kozak?
He's not here, he's dead.
What?
Don't worry about him.
Hey, honey, thanks for the follow.
Is he dead now, or should I not worry?
I was
That is two
making a
different
joke.
things. I know, but I'm still writing it in character.
Okay. You should not worry, because even if he is dead, he is still here with us in spirit. And if he's alive, then he's not dead. At which point you should not worry, and you should not worry either.
Yeah, I was thinking about inside rolling that as well. That's a 14. What do I get?
She has no fucking clue.
Alright, please, could you just say that you don't know? It's okay, it's okay. You've lost many companions of ours many times now. I'm used to it. It's fine.
Okay.
Who is that person who were helping you with the fight then?
That dragon man over there who's really nice. He cleaved that dirty little gnomon too. And then there's that man over there who was a bird in the rafters, but then he became a but then he became a man, and now he's trying to charge me for killing things in self-defense. That's like the
Alright.
one time I'm allowed to kill things.
Alright, you two. come here,
Don't
please.
say that in the courtroom.
I'll wander across.
My name is Xander. I am kind of the let me think. A supervisor of this creature. So, what happened, if I may?
Well, I was just relaxing in the fifth corner of the tavern when the Goliath and Gnome entered, accused the kobold of vast, unaccountable crimes, and started causing general chaos. I attempted to intervene and at least disarm the situation. No one needed to die, but the kobold definitely insisted that they both die violently and very unnecessarily. They were already down and fleeing, and he insisted on pursuing them.
See, thank you very much. I haven't
Apologies.
gender swapped yet.
I see. Well, yes, a Skitter unfortunately has this quirk or flaw, so to say, when morality starts to be very much questioned.
I don't know what you're referring to, Xander. I was very much in the right on this one. I sent them to the Great Candy Mountain in the sky.
I'm not going to acknowledge that if I may. So,
But yes, I'm able to provide reviving services for your dead customers.
They
Um,
weren't customers. They came in here to accost me specifically.
then you should have taken the business outside, Skitter.
I
It's
would have
not good
taken it outside.
marketing.
I would have taken it outside, but they shot the gnome at me.
So, you're pretty strong, aren't you? Why
Yeah.
didn't you paralyze them with the bugs that you were threatening me with and take them outside and then take care of it there? Paralyzed things don't shoot you.
I could only paralyze one of them, and I couldn't paralyze them both, and they were both being very mean to me. So I sent them to the Great Candy Mountain in the sky.
In fact,
And
Shad, can you give me a D100 on that? We want to see how the crowd are taking it. Above 50, they were entertained. Below 50, they're a little bit scared. Depending on.
you have a very bloodthirsty crowd, Xander.
Yeah, they're all crowd. You know, you could hear this sort of mutterings and stuff talking excitedly about the action that's just taking the place. They, by the time you get the applause have died down, but the murmurs are still there.
Yeah, fair. I'm assuming fire giants were kind of keen on this entertainment.
Yeah,
I would like to point out
there's a lot of fire giants sort of like looking sort of thoughtfully at some of the smaller folk around there, and the smaller folk sort of very casually, wide-eyed, eyebrows raised back in a way. I think you may have invented midget tossing.
Xander thinks for a moment, and all right, I think I have an idea to make everyone happy.
Oh, you do?
Yes, I do. I'm sorry, Mr. Turning to Drew. What was your name again?
Druid.
Drew. Okay.
He has quite the massive id, it seems.
All right, that is a word. So, Mr. Drew,
I can be smart when I want to be.
I'm going to propose that we are going to pay you back, compensate for the loss. However, you have to make sure that we don't just run off, right? I mean, that would be bad for you as well.
So what exactly do you propose?
Why don't you accompany us for the time we gather the money necessary? And then you can, one, make sure that we don't run off. Two, we are safer to get the money and there is less chance of us, dying in the way and not being able to get back with the money. And looks around the tavern and the patrons who enjoyed the situation actually. And after we revive them, maybe we could persuade them to pursue a more straightforward and less criminal lifestyle in the entertainment industry.
I don't think they would do it. They were
Right.
here to kill me. Because
Yes, and now they are dead, and if we revive them, they are going to owe us their lives. That is how it works.
These terms seem agreeable.
that
I
is
will require 2,000 gold worth of materials. Either you can provide the materials themselves or the gold.
Alright.
And we will have to perform the necessary rituals within 10 days. Does
You
that
hear,
timeline seem applicable?
You hear Skitter kind of like she's eating honeycomb at this current point in time, but she kind of just like 2,000 gold for these wretches that should be fed to the bugs.
Yes, the terms are agreeable. And then Xander turns to the Dragonborn and I heard that you were quite a help as well, right?
You just hear in your head, yes, I was. And
Very well.
I'm in agreement with this as well. And this message is transmitted to everyone there.
Would like to point out he held the gnome down for me.
Very well, very well. So, well, I was going to make a point why you should help us as well, but since you have already offered to agree to the terms, I assume it is already done, and I do not need to make my point, yes?
Affirmative.
Granted, it was a very good point, so if you're on the fence, you should just come with us and trust me on the fact that it was indeed a very good point. Wait.
Was it 18 on the deception there?
Yep.
Bit of a under par roll for you.
Yeah. If only I had advantage to it.
Be unmakeable.
Hold on.
Another cheeky plug.
Hold on. I have more.
Alright.
Rakta, do you want to contest the deception, or are you just coming with us?
Yeah, I'm just coming with this. And like for the rest of the session, my character is like it doesn't talk vocally, so whenever I speak something, know that it's just like in your minds.
Alright.
Yeah.
I see you're one of those speak into the mind kind of folks, right? Are you very magical?
I'm more of the decapitate the bad guy type rather than the magical type.
You see Xandor fall into like first smoke, but it's not that gray. It's more like black, and slowly his entire body disappears, and the smoke dissipates on the ground, and then the others see the reverse of this behind you as he suddenly appears behind your back. And very well, if you are not too magically adept, I suggest you do not cross me, and we are going to be good.
As long as you don't put innocent people in danger or distress, I shall never cross you.
Innocence is more of a concept, just as morality. Very well, let's go, adventure, get the gold!
Visible sweat from Skitter's location. What? No, I totally wouldn't put innocent people in danger.
Peter, I'm keeping an eye on you. Don't forget
What?
my previous proposal about, being invisible and murdering people. People being you, for this matter.
Peter shall hear in her head, I have my eyes on you. Don't try anything stupid next time.
What are you talking about? I didn't do anything stupid. It was in pure self-defense.
You killed that poor gnome. He was already on the verge of death. You killed an innocent soul in front of my eyes.
I'd
I
like to
didn't
approach
kill him.
Travis, the bartender.
He's looking around the place well. I suppose that, worked out for the best. I thought it was some entertainment we were putting on. Although I don't quite like how that fire giant is looking at the elf there.
I'm going to handle that if it goes anywhere. Yes, actually it was an entertainment show. I was kind of bringing in this this gnome and Goliath under a contract, but unfortunately I failed to inform Skitter about it, and he took it too far, as usual.
Gee.
My apologies for the ruckus, but I believe the entertainment served its purpose, and it was well received by the crowd for the benefit of the establishment.
In the background, just very loudly, I didn't kill the gnome. I simply put arrows in his body until he stopped squirming, and then the centipedes killed him. It's not my fault he died.
Skitter is a bit, how do you say, extra.
It's not the word I would have used, but let's go with extra.
He was a gnome. He probably did something in his life to deserve it. They all do in a way. Oh, Kurtalmak, how the glitter gold will pay.
He sort of turns to you very quietly, sort of mutters in your ear there, Sander. That one still freaks me out.
Speaking of Skitter,
Yeah.
I am taking him away. Don't worry.
Her.
Actually, let me. Sorry, yes, I'm
That's
taking
fine.
her away. Actually, you know what? I am going to provide one more very beneficial thing for here right now. And Scrap, the Xander's rat, climbs down and kind of goes under the counter. This is Scrap, my familiar, so to say. I will leave him here with you. And you said the fire giant was looking weird at the elf. Well, if any trouble may come from this, you tell the rat, and I will know about it, and I will make haste to come back as soon as possible to put people in their place.
Just in the back.
Talk
It's
to
okay.
the rat.
Yes. It's quite a magical rat, actually.
He just, at this point when you go yes, he just goes, okay. It's just, at this point, it's like, yeah, I, there's been weirder things of late.
Just in the background, a dwarf's like, "Oh, now there's rats in the kitchen. I won't be eating you no more."
I'm sorry, sir. Are you aware that rats are actually one of the most hygienic pets you can have? There is a whole book about it. I can recommend it in the library.
Oh, I've seen that rat patootie thing. I don't want none of it. Leaves.
Is let's see.
We didn't want him anyway. He was trouble.
There's a couple. There's a couple of kids petting the rat.
See, entertainment for the young ones.
Give me a
the
give
rat
me
just
a
does a little dance.
yeah. I was gonna say give me a performance check for the rat, with advantage because it is obviously way more intelligent than a normal rat.
And
Has
with
like
the
a
rat
-3
stat blocks, I
charisma.
assume.
Yeah.
Uh,
So just give me 2d20 and then just add some numbers to it. It's only a vague thing. I'm not going to set DC in my head.
yeah. Oh shit. There we go. Oh, okay.
All right, yeah. So indeed, yeah. Your rat is sort of acting almost like very well. I would say puppy-like, but pet rats are amazingly affectionate as well. So as they play them, they sort of play with the hand and stuff. But it's also it does, like as you say, a bit of a jig, a bit of a dance. There's some backflips and a few tricks and things like that. And the kids are just sort of like goofing over this, push it to advantage. Let's see, and. Yeah, and just sort of a few more the sort of type where one sort of parent sort of goes up, don't that's a rat, and then sees the rat and goes, oh, well, aren't you a friendly little thing? And yeah, some of the more adults start to warm to what's the name of the rat again? Rap. Scrap. Start warming to Scrap as well, and they start feeding it little nibbles. So yeah,
Alright.
nice, a lovely bar, a little sort of temporary bar mascot.
Well, let's see then. Entertainment secured, security secured. Oh, one more question actually. Have you heard any rumors about things that might need to be done around the area?
For a man of your talents, not really. Although there has been a sort of bit of bother with a lot of kids digging a hole down south. I mean,
Is it like kids being kids digging a hole, or is it like a bit deeper of an issue, so to say.
I don't know. I've not seen it personally myself, but the way people speak about it, they do seem a little bit more concerned than one would be with kids just digging a hole.
We are the kids and we're digging a hole. Dig. Very well, I should actually look into it. We don't want horses breaking their legs, carriages breaking their wheels over some kids being funny, so to say. That is bad for trade.
Okay. What are you guys doing?
Well,
Yeah, I go back to the group and we actually have something
I
we
would-
could deal with.
I'd like to set the stage as you return.
Okay.
I'd like to imagine that Skitter and and Effrey are both kind of like at a bit of a standoff with each other because they're, opposing ideologies. And also the fact that Effrey probably notices the profuse amounts of insects that keep skittering across her apparel at seemingly all times, like a centipede along one of her horns, just kind of like slithering up and then around and then back down to the robes. A spider just tippy tapping across her arm until she feeds it a fly, and then it just retreats back into the robes. A lot of really creepy shit. She's just staring at them with these deep red eyes. So, we're gonna be working together, yes? You swing the axe well. Tell me, have you ever met Benny?
I'm not sure I have.
Oh, you're gonna love Benny. And she kind of like reaches into a bag and she pulls out this massive Goliath bird-eating spider that's like the size of her chest. And she just holds it in one hand against her chest like a giant cat and just starts to stroke it, just a little pet, pet. And she just keeps staring at you. She hasn't broken eye contact once. This is Benny. He's really soft.
Oh, what you adorable!
Yes, he's adorable, isn't he? He's my best friend.
I'm gonna cast Speak with Animals immediately. Who's that cute little spider?
Okay. Benny looks to you like four compound eyes, just like look to you, and you hear from Benny. I'm doing pretty good there, Buckaroo. Just ate a pigeon.
Is the kobold treating you well?
Oh, yeah. She's treating me pretty well. I get a pigeon every couple days. Sometimes one time got a hawk. Another time a whole goose. Just all for me.
Very
Oh,
nice.
it was real good. The pace de resistance.
But yes, you need anything? I'm there for you too.
Oh, that was pretty cool, man. Say, you were raving earlier. You think I could, eat you when you're like that?
I mean, you could, but then I'd become this big, and then I'd probably
Oh.
destroy your internal organs.
Oh, that'd be pretty awkward. Yeah, that'd be pretty awkward right there. Well, that's okay. It's the thought that counts there, Buckaroo. Thank you real mighty much for that. I heard a phrase from old skits once. You shame me once, shame on me. You shame me twice, well, you can't be shamed again. You can only shame me once.
You see, first of all, like you
Wise
see
words.
Effrey like stand still for a second, then he just walks up and tries to pet the spider.
All right, roll an animal handling with advantage, because Skitter is going to give you advantage.
Also, I can speak with it because I am a bear totem barbarian.
Well, add a
so-
d4 to that then. So advantage plus 1d4.
As a bear totem barbarian, you have to go through a whole ritual to cast Speak with Animals.
Wow,
sadly.
thank God for that d4. Give me that d4.
Roll a 1d4.
Let's go.
There you
Yes,
go.
Nice.
13.
Nice.
A 10 was all you needed because because Bob here is very docile for a giant fucking spider.
Oh,
but,
before so I just wanted to because the opposing sort of views on this, could Drew and Skitter each give me a luck dice? So almost like opposing luck dice.
Is that D100?
Opposing luck dice.
Yep.
Yep.
All right.
Oh no.
Nice.
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 Very
Giggity.
nice.
Giggity 9 versus 37. Nope. Nothing. No interjection.
All right. She just
I'm
kind of
checking
like
there. Yeah.
she kind of like holds him out for you a little bit, and she just kind of says, "You'll want to pet right about here. It's your sweet spot." And
Yeah.
you kind of like adjust your hand and you stroke along a very fuzzy thorax.
As I'm petting Benny, I look at Scudder and just say, in her mind, that I prefer creatures up to 8 legs. So I would rather prefer you show off spiders than those dirty, disgusting centipedes of yours. I have a preference from 8 legs or less.
Her left eye twitches.
Excuse me, that's legism.
That's very legist of you. What, am I supposed to not admire you because you have 2 legs, you sexy beast? I mean, nothing. Ignore me. I'm putting my spider away now. I just realized you're a dragonborn. I have Alexander. I must be loyal.
And
She
then
kind, she kind of like grips her clawed hands together, and just like pats her cheeks a couple times, like hyping herself up, like I must remain loyal to my sweet Alexander.
and that's happening. Xander comes back and. Skitter, are you fantasizing about the Dragonborn again?
No, I
Good.
wasn't.
Good, I found ourselves a job. Now, let's go.
Oh, this is wondrous.
Mhm.
Xander, could you carry me for a moment? I have a thing I need to do.
Have you ever seen me carry anything that weighs more than a chair?
I pick
I
up Skitter and carry him.
This is nice. You feel her just kind of like looking at her hands, and then she just like looks up to the sky and holds her hands up and she says, I am tall. And
Yes,
now I
I-
have important work.
Over the head, leg either side.
You feel a flat, hard surface lay against your head, and then you hear this scritching of pencil on paper as I begin to draw some art.
Mhm.
Ha 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 ha!
Xander goes over, looks at what you're drawing, points at it and looks to the others. Oh, Candy
You look
Mountain, Charlie!
inspired.
Candy Mountain!
Okay. Vic, you get it, but I believe I shall say the line.
Sure.
Candy Mountain, Charlie. Candy Mountain.
Please
As-
don't call
as-
me Candy Mountain.
I intentionally waited like 3 silences until I said it so that you have a chance to do so, so that's on you.
I
Yeah,
know, it's
you were
fine,
too
it's fine.
slow.
You can get the inspire. You get the inspire. As she's just like shh, just like, and both Xander probably expects this. Xander and Efri can both see her just kind of like salivating a little bit, just like as she's just like drawing feverishly.
I'm sorry, Drew. If she really stains your clothing, I can always. And Xander, like, flicks fingers and prestidigitates off the saliva.
Oh no, it's quite fine. I'm one to being in nature and around foul beasts.
Oh, that's alright. Then you are going to be very familiar with Skitter.
Kita shall hear in her head. As descendants of dragons, we should conduct ourselves in a more honorable manner. And
She
Skinner-
looks at you.
Skinner is like the most thirstiest girl in this entire campaign. There's nothing professional about it at all.
She looks to you, and she shows you a completed piece of yourself. It looks really good, but you have a lot more definition and muscles, and also you're shirtless. And she just like clutches the edge, and she's like, I need more of this.
Every see, Honor is almost like if it was Skitter's middle name, because no one cares or remembers middle names.
That is a good analogy, Xander.
I'm truly saddened by this. I expected someone else to be as honorable as me as well, so that I could become friends with them. As you can see,
Actually,
Jeffrey has been slightly saddened by this.
Hold on,
if only
hold on,
Kozak
hold
was
on.
here.
Hold on. You hear she hears that her ears perk up, like these overlarge ears just go ping ping. Her tail goes ping, and she's like, "Oh, I'm quite the honorable individual. Yes, save the maidens and all that. Yes, yes,
By the
yes."
way, just Taffy, so you know, I'm thinking we are like on the way to the digging site. Well,
Yeah, well, this conversation.
And she just like tucks her art away and hides it.
So, yeah, actually, on that note, it's 20 past now. So we will start the next session as... Wow. Yeah, an absolute masterpiece of Efri. Like...
No, you don't understand.
I'm
So-
very, very impressed by that.
So
it is pure
Okay,
smut,
this is,
though.
yeah. But
I
let's see, how smutty is this
I
masterpiece
have
of
a
Efri?
question for you. I have a question for you, Taffy. Is Alexander taller or shorter than Efri? How tall is Efri?
Let's roll.
Efri is
This is
6'3",
important.
or do you mean
Efri is 6'3".
6'3"?
Okay. Alexander is 6'8". Okay. This art piece is of Efri being very affectionately embraced from behind by Alexander, with a hand tilting the chin upwards while he's looking downwards, their eyes intense, smoldering look of affection, their lips so close but not yet touching. Stars in the distance, a night sky.
This is
A
a
piece of
29 on
true
painter's supplies, by the way, right?
romance.
This is not your usual run of the mill sort of dodgy fan art. This is like the Sistine Chapel kind of.
Best part about it is the hands are completely proportional.
Xander looks at it and like, Skitter,
Yes.
I was thinking about it opening a more a room in the tavern, a secluded one for more private entertainment. I'm thinking I might hire you for the frescoes on the wall.
Yes. I would enjoy painting many a fresco about dragons and dragonborn, kobolds.
I take a very long look at the painting with silence, nothing. Then everyone just hears it. Though I may not agree with the concept you have put on the easel there, I must say I'm very, very impressed by your skills.
Insight.
Yeah, you have no idea if he's closeted.
Just I I will give it to Fractal. Thank you for letting me do that. Because if at any point in time you said no, I would have just swapped to something else.
In return, I shall do what I consider myself proficient with. I shall play the liar for you.
And the masterpiece is called Same Love. So have that there to anybody that necessarily disagrees with that. Anyone that disagrees with that. I know you didn't mean it that way, Fractal, but yeah, you meant like I'm not that way inclined, but I am still impressed by your artistry. Right, yeah. So that masterpiece is now a thing in this world.
I'm writing it down in my notes.
Oh my
I
god!
swear to you.
Oh
one
my
day,
god!
I swear to you, one day.
Is
I
that
will show this to someone,
37
a
on the
select
liar?
few,
Like
and I will make them cry.
I can't.
with it.
Yeah. You think people are crying over your painting, right? He's just rolled a 37 on his layer.
Oh,
I'm getting very suspicious if that painting inspired you for a song this well written. We might have to introduce you to Alexander.
oh my
actually.
god! I just saw the natural 20. She is going to look to Effrey. Single tear rolling down her face, and she's just going to say, "Marry me."
Mate, that's that'll cause like the most hick town to put up fucking rainbow banners. And honestly, that image accompanied by that song. There you go. You got a perfect cover for that masterful single that we'll all hear to death on the radio for years to come.
It's basically Epic 3 from Hadestown.
Okay.
After the performance is over, you can see he's very tired. Just says, "How was it?" to everyone.
If we're on the road, I have.
Well, there are woodland creatures that have been attracted to it. Animals that would normally be skittish at the presence of humanoids are gathering on the sides of the road and just following you down the road. You've developed quite a crowd. If you performed that in the middle of the market square, they would have showered you in gold.
I would like to say, Effrey, this piece is so beautiful. Skitter doesn't even take the opportunistic chance to eat some of these animals.
To the point that I'm going to say now, when you... because you're missing a magical item if you do end up becoming a permanent fixture in this, because you are welcome to, by the way, because with you included, we'll have 5 members. Oh, we got Ozzy as well, but Ozzy's going to be off for a while. And I don't mind.
If it starts at the time it started today, I'm completely free at this time.
It's 9 o'clock, so it's earlier than that, 9 UTC, typical start time. But then, again, it's going to get moved, so we don't know. We'll have to reconvene on that one. The time of this campaign is going to get moved. It's going to get pushed closer to Twitch prime time. And in the mornings, it's going to be a Cyberpunk Red. But we'll fuck about with that later anyway. But what I'll say is that you feel like a surge of almost like divine energy come over this layer. What can I do? What is going to be fitting for this character? I would suggest that...
you could make it a literal instrument of the bards, but it can be attuned to a barbarian instead.
Yeah, I'm thinking something like that.
Like, let me actually look up, because you said it's a lute or a lyre.
Liar.
It's a lyre. There is a instrument of the bards that is a instrument.
No, I think this needs to be homebrew.
The cleave.
Yeah, this is going to be homebrew. It's going to be imbued by a Lidamara. Because
it's like
I'm a Lidamara fanboy, and
by...
this is so fitting.
It should be inspired by like war drums, but like in a lyre form. So like spells like heroism attached to it, or bless, that kind of stuff. I think.
So, yeah, okay, but I'll come up with something for this if you can make the time. because with level 10, everybody needs a magical item, and you'll have this. So, as you're sort of coming towards, as you pick up at the sort of crescendo, you can hear, I think a lyre's played this way. I'm trying to think where a lyre is now, but you can hear, as you come into the crescendo, there's almost other notes that have been added into the music as well, of a plucking of a cantil. And just as you're looking at the woodland creatures in the woods, you see a humanoid figure sort of playing very softly, just almost on the edge of, just a perfect accompaniment, just on the edge of your awareness. And as it just passes into the light, you see it adorned with a mask of half black, half white, one smiling, one frowning. And as you come towards the end, the figure bows to you and disappears. As you feel this surge of magical energy, you'll be instantly attuned to this thing. He's blessed your lair. Else other than fighting on pro. Yeah, absolutely. That was a
Next level bard.
That is a masterful performance. So,
Next level bard.
yes, we're bringing the session to a close. Just as so, we start the next session as we come to the hall. We do have a title for this. Waiter, there's a dwarf in my soup.
I just noticed I haven't used my Inspire, so I'm gonna, I don't know,
roll it. Add it onto the add it onto the layer. Fuck it.
Or you can add it on to my drawing and make it a 30.
Yeah, there you go.
I was thinking I might do like a singing melody to the music of
Go
the
for
fire.
it. Go for it.
Go for it.
You come up with the words for it. There you go.
I mean, hey.
Yeah, it'll be advantage because you're being supported. So that starts as a 19. Give me the D8.
And yeah, and that's
A 21 on there.
21.
21. Solid. Yeah, absolutely solid lyrics working along with it as well. There's beautiful two masterful pieces of art have just been born into the world, and that's like I said, we'll end the session there. Right, for those in chat, so just as a sort of heads up, it is up past 12 now UTC. In approximately 1 hour's time, we're going to have the start of a brand new West March in that's been introduced into the TTA, which you guys can get involved in as well. Depending on the player count we're going to get for that. If you, Honey, by all means, if you're free, you are welcome to jump into this sort of intro game as well, where we go through the sort of base mechanics of Cyberpunk Red, along with the world setting, how to doing character creations, and we'll do a short half shot at the end of that as well. What I've basically done is I've created kind of like a codex that gets bolted onto the Cyberpunk Red system to turn it into like a mass multiplayer style game. And I'm very, very proud of it, and I'm so excited to tell you guys all about it, which I will tell you in an hour's time. For the hour, we are going to be raiding someone. As usual, stick around for the raid. You get an extra 250 channel points, which you get to spend on fucking with the stream. But also, we're going to do some promos as well. Shad's going to do a shout out of his channel, which he've already put a link into that, but he'll tell you all about that shortly. What goes on? So what's going to be going with this? We do sort of stream Tabletop Arcade. This is more or less our secondary platform. The 22 by the end of 22 is looking less and less likely, but still, if you guys got any Prime subs that are not being attributed to anyone, so anybody that's got Amazon Prime, you get a free subscription. Sort of that, get it across to us. It does help keep the arcade going. It's not just supporting the Twitch channel; it's also supporting the Discord channel, which is our main platform. Allows us to keep playing games and constant entertainment. It's much cheaper than Netflix, and a lot of people probably spend more time on here than they do watching Netflix. So come on, guys, let's pay for a coffee if you can. It's entirely optional. That's enough there of self plug-in, right? Because I'm not. You got to do it. It keeps the ball rolling. But it does make me cringe when I hear myself say it. But other than the Cyberpunk Red is kicking off, there's Lost in Limbo, which is actually being world built by our illustrious, caramel brother right here, Fractal, the beast from the Middle East. He's the world builder for Lost in Limbo as well, which it's a really great it is a really sick place to sort of start learning, more basic fundamentals when it comes to sort of 5e. Great place to learn to GM as well. You can't break that world. It is intended as a Cronenberg's acid trip. So whatever you play works in the setting. So you get to sort of play, if you want to take your, sort of start learning to GM, that's a great place to start doing that there. What else? Yeah, the Wilton World has been added to the Community West Marches as well, so easy access to that. So if you are very proficient at 5e and you know that system quite well, there's a super advanced homebrew system there as well, which you get to experiment with all kinds of wacky jank combos. It's much more tougher. They do request that you be sort of experienced in 5e. That one's not very newbie friendly, but if you are a newbie, Lost in Limbo is very newbie friendly. What else? I think that's it. That's it for me. Yes, like I said, stick around for the raid. I will be moving the timetables about, so things will change. So we will have the Cyberpunk raid, which will start about an hour later than this game normally starts here, and this will be moved further on as well, pending when people can go. Oh, I want to make a proposition for the Improv 4 campaign, guys. I reckon Shad should GM it.
What? Oh my.
I'll manage the stream.
Oh,
I'll manage the stream. I'll do all the setup of the stream. I'll do the music. I'll do the channel points. I'll do everything else like that. I'll do all the background stuff, all the governance and stuff. You just do your sort of, this basic sort of voice acting stuff. I think you as a GM are just made for this campaign. You did a fantastic job with this session.
Thank you. I mean, I could do it.
Sick. I will play in it.
Jumping in as a player?
I will be jumping in as a player. I will probably play in the law bard that is the old man in the thieves the thieves den here in I've forgotten the name of the place again. But yeah, I'll manage all of that stuff. It's just easier then for me to manage like the NPCs and things like that. I can do all the sort of background stuff, and I'm not trying to do that whilst also listening to what another player's doing. So that way, So I'll be more of a quieter sort of player, but I'll certainly be involved.
All right.
Sick. I think that might be a better setup. So that way I'm not. My focus is not so divided.
One thing I have to put my feet down. Shady, you're not allowed to bring rainbow wolves.
What?
What's wrong with rainbow?
It was almost 2 years back in the West March, and I'm still traumatized by it.
Are you truly still traumatized by a little ooh?
Oh, let's keep the ooh to a minimum, mind, right? Just point a note, right? What is done with
rainbow dragons.
Yeah, what is done with the Jesus Christ? What is done with intermittently with a certain level of semi-irony, it can be quite funny. So that way you can be on board, but you can also laugh at it from an ironic point of view. Just don't overdo the ooh.
The main problem was with it was the infection and transformation part for me.
Oh God! Is this like the fucking flash kits? Is this like the flash kits thing that oohs the fuck out of anything, like a plague?
Yeah. They were like a werewolf, and they turned your character, and then the GM took over your character because you lost your sense.
So yeah, very minor aside on those. There was only one werewolf. And that character was played by Nautilus. By Navo specifically.
Actually,
but
my character was infected for a short time as well.
Werewolf
inspired by the band Powerwolf was infected by the Rainbow Wolf virus.
I'm just saying, it was great storytelling. You got that curse removed, though. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
You were fine.
Oh, good lord. Right, stream, chat, do you guys want a D&D, well, actual fact, do you want to be put into another D&D game? Obviously, they're not going to be generally as chat interactive as we are because it's part of our format. Do you want to do some sort of cover some sort of game prep or arc prep for tabletop games, or do you have a suggestion of a channel, a friend of yours or something that you may want us to raid? I'm pretty open. Honey, do you have anyone that you fancy raiding? Preferably not a channel too big.
Before that, I would also like to just, do a bit of hashtag shilling real quick, just a little bit of pimping. I stream Tuesdays at 22:30 GMT every week. I stream my Reigns of Vitrium campaign, or if not that, I stream a one-off. I have so far done a Dead Space themed one-off and a Turkey Day Thanksgiving themed one-off, in which all the players were Aarakocra or bird folk of some description, and they had to escape a giant's encampment after being captured. But don't worry about that too much. Just watch the VODs. They're all up on the YouTube channel. And that's where I stream the actual Raids of Vitrium campaign. That's also where I post my Let's Play series for Vampire the Masquerade Redemption, but I'm also currently streaming that on Twitch as well to get content for the VODs themselves, for the videos, and so on and so forth.
Sick.
But that's what I do. That's where I am. And that's how I roll.
Yeah, it's probably a great episode to sort of plug on this, actually, for you, because you absolutely killed this session. So if you want to see more Shad, go check him out. He does lots of streams. Anyway, we're going to be rating Leon cosplay. La Leon cosplay. Anyway, it's a small channel, only got 2 viewers at the moment, so stick around, right? Make lots of noise for that wonderful individual. They are currently writing a module for D&D 5e. The reason why I tend to prefer the prep stuff for you to move you guys across, because you can actually have a little bit of interaction then with the content creator. It's very often games, they tend to be so engrossed in the game, and they just, the chat's over there in a separate room kind of thing. So, let's go have a go at these guys. Like I said, stick around, because you will get extra channel points for it.
Ayo.
Which you can spend on new NPCs and stuff.
Now I've reduced the price. That's going to come to you newer guys much, much quicker. Alright, cheers then.
Maybe eventual bad boy encounters.
Wow, that's quite a delay.
Yes.
That is a huge delay.
Awkward
Yes, the raid
silence.
delay appears
Oh, well,
to
I'm
be
just
7
delayed.
days.
Yeah, 7-day delay. I'm just going to raid now.
But yeah, so you want me to do improv? This improv campaign?
Yes, indeed. Hang on, let me just mute the audio outputs from our end, because...